Coaches, if you would take your places to greet the seniors as they enter. We'll close the competition pool in about 3 or 4 minutes. Team standings going into tonight's action. For the women, Fairleigh Dickinson, 55, Wilkes, 68, Stevenson, 102, Lebanon Valley, 116, Albright, 124, King's College in 7th, 135, Lycoming, 140, Hood College 5th, 146, Arcadia 4th, 217, Misericordia, 246 in 3rd, Widener in 2nd with 355, and Messiah leading with 541. The men's standings. Wilkes with 34, Stevenson 67, Fairleigh Dickinson 113, King's College 119, Lebanon Valley 131, 7th place Lycoming 170, 6th Hood College 204, 5th Misericordia 240, 4th Messiah 241, 3rd Arcadia 266, 2nd Albright College 286, and in first place with 331 points, the Widener Pride. Seniors should be in the hallway, getting ready to be presented. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Graham Aquatic Center and the Mid-Atlantic Conference welcome you to tonight's Max Swimming Championship.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Graham Aquatic Center in York, Pennsylvania as we get set for the final session of the 2016 MAC Championships for swimming. Rob Dawson on hand here as you can take a look at the list of the finals here. The 1650 freestyle, 200 back, 100 freestyle, 200 breast, 200 butterfly, and of course the 400 free relay final. Right now, entering the pool deck, escorted by Commissioner Ken Andrews of the Mid-Atlantic Conference, the seniors being recognized here from all 12 schools that are participating here today. A very nice touching moment as many of the seniors have been 4-year participants who are now getting their chance to be recognized here.
Amanda Stickles, and Kate Thomas. Seniors, this is a poignant moment. We know your personal best lie just ahead of you. We know you're going to be great. Please give this group of competitors a great round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and direct your attention to the flag. Please remain standing to honor the United States of America during the singing of our national anthem by Abby Gordiani, a sophomore at Messiah College.
There you have it, the national anthem and the seniors recognition. We'll be back in 5 minutes with the start of the final session of the 2016 Max Swimming Championships. Day 4, we're back on GoMaxSports.com in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the competition site. A couple other things to be courteous to our spectators. There's likely to be a full house tonight, so please make room for everyone. Don't stand at the rail and block others viewing the pool. Reserving seats is not permissible. Please try to accommodate all spectators with a place to sit. The pool deck is for student athletes, coaches, and officials. Spectators who come onto the pool deck may be asked to leave the premises. During the competition, no swimmers are allowed in the warm-up pool next to the bulkhead. The officials for this evening's meeting are referee Robert Louis-Smith, starter Mike Brown, also Thomas DeBoissier, Bruce Edwards, Kevin Walls, and Patricia Walls. The officials have asked that I remind you of these rules. Please be quiet for all starts. No flash photography in the starts, and no artificial noisemakers at any time. ladies and gentlemen, the first event of 1650, several heats were swung earlier today, and it is a time final, and they could possibly be integrated into the final results, of course. Just highlighting some of the finishes this morning, the top 6 in the women's from this morning's swims were Amanda Schwartman, freshman at King's College, with a time of 19:25.59. Allie Peters from Albright College with a time of 19:07.21. Brittany Whittam, a senior from Hood College, with a time of 18:58.21. And Carrie Siriello, senior in Misericordia, 18:54. Caroline Patterson from Arcadia, 18:53. And the top time in the earlier heats was had by Katie Finch, junior at King's College, 18:48.16.
And welcome back here to the Graham Aquatic Center in York, PA. Rob Dawson on hand here for the final day, evening session here in day 4. We take a look. Those are the events for the finals. Of course, we'll have the award ceremonies throughout as well. Let's take a look at the team standings here. First for the women, of course, Messiah, 566, well in front. Widener, 383, well behind. Misericordia, safely third for now. Arcadia could get up to third. Hood and Fifth, Lycoming in 6th. And then for the rest of the conference, Kingston 7th, Albright in 8th, Lebanon Valley 9th, Stevenson 10th. Can Stevenson get up to 9 and 8, 8, 9, 10, even 7. All up for grabs. 11th and Wilkes, 68 and FD Farm, 12. Let's take a look at the men's standings here, and this is the tight one here. Widener, 351 leading. Albright right behind at 305. Can Albright continue their dominance in the men's team standings? Tied for third, Messiah and Arcadia at 272. Misericordia at 264. Hood at 220. And then the rest of the conference, 7th place Lycoming, 193. Kingston Lebanon Valley tied at 131. FD Farm, 117. Stevenson, 67. And Wilkes, 34. We are beginning just as we ended this morning's session, and that is with the 1650 race. And we'll start out with the women's race here. We will take a short commentary break in the middle of this race as the race is 66 laps long. Now, also today we are also taking a look at what happened earlier. Of course, there were several heats of the men and women together on the 1650. In theory, it is possible for someone in the morning to win. However, they were all seated according to their 1,000 freestyle time, and they were all seated accordingly with the fastest 2 heats, 1 women's heat and 1 men's heat. The fastest 8 times there. So it is possible to have someone win in the morning, although unlikely. So we are getting ready for the 1650 freestyle. And there's the introduction for the 8 women who have been at the highest seed. Making their way to the pool deck at this time. Large contingent of Widener participants in this one, 4 in all in the event 25 in the women's 1650-yard freestyle. 66 laps, 33 times, up and down. The length of this race here.
Junior from Albright, Sam Hand.
Give you the introduction as the race is going on. It's a very long race where we have enough time to do that. There is not a seat in the house here for Graham Aquatic Center available, especially with the men's team standings being so tight. The groups of fans section, you can see, and yellow all together for Widener's faithful, and yellow pom-poms. One blue pom-pom for one hand, and one yellow one for the other one. Every time their name is being introduced, cheer. Just about ready to go for 6 o'clock. Start time here. Women's 16:50. And they're off here into the water. Wait to see who will come in tops in this race here. Let's meet the racers here in lane 4. This is the overall #1 seed for the women in this event. Is Alyssa D'Esposito, freshman from Arcadia. Seed time of 11:01.79. For Alyssa D'Esposito from Arcadia. Alyssa D'Esposito, #1 seed. D'Esposito, freshman from Monroe, New Jersey, Bishop R High School. D'Esposito specializes in freestyle. 2015 graduate of Bishop R. Member of the swimming team, captain, all area, all conference. D'Esposito looking for her first top 3 finish in this MAC championship. And we meet the others. Lane 1, Sam Hand, junior from Albright. Sam Hand from Reading, Pennsylvania, and Muhlenberg High School. Sam Hand, lane 1. For the Lions. And high school, she has an 800 free relay record and a pool record as well. She's the 6th all-time at Albright for 16:53. Trying to improve on that time. Time of 18:22.71, her personal best in last year's MAC championships. Trying to best it here. Sam Hand in lane 1. Alicia Jenkins, senior from Widener. Lane 2. Alicia Jenkins from Widener, senior from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, Downingtown West High School. Team captain last year in 16:50. Last year she placed 7th.
This is her 4th 16:50
in lane 2. Emily Rio, who we've heard a lot from her from the side this week. The honor roll continues. She's first in the 800 freestyle relay, first in the 400 men's relay, first in the 500 freestyle, first in the 200 freestyle relay, first in the 400 IM. Emily Rio, one of the most decorated swimmers here in this MAC swimming championship. She is in lane 3. Emily Rio from the side, lane 3 for the Falcons. Rio from Mountjoy, Pennsylvania, Elizabethtown area. And of course, she's building on an already impressive honor roll. She's MAC champion for the 200 freestyle relay, 400 freestyle relay, 800 freestyle relay, 1650 freestyle. She was the champion in that event as well last year. So trying to see if she can repeat there. Mentioned D'Esposito in lane 4. Alyssa Myers, freshman from Widener, in lane 5. Alyssa Myers for her first top 3 finish in the championship this year. Alyssa Myers, Broomall, Pennsylvania, via Maria Academy. Alyssa Myers.
She's from Mulligan Hill, New Jersey, and attended
Lane 5. Continue about 14 laps through. Alyssa Myers, 4-year letter winner in the butterfly freestyle via Maria Academy. She's also the team captain in high school. So freshman, 16:50. Alyssa Myers in her first MAC championship. Britta Heath, freshman from Messiah in lane 6. Britta Heath, second in the 500 freestyle, third in the 400 IM. Britta Heath, lane 6. part of New York, Orchard Park. She's a biology major, helping Messiah greatly here in those top 3 finishes. Lane 7, Eva Partridge, freshman from Widener. There's a lot of Widener and Messiah here in this race. Eva Partridge from Mulligan Hill, New Jersey. Boston Catholic High School. Swam for 4 years, team captain at Boston Catholic, made all conference every year, and won a conference title all 4 years. Helped their squad get there. In lane 8, Anna Pelliger, the junior from Widener. Widener Pride, Anna Pelliger, the junior from Manasquan, New Jersey. Red Bank Catholic, All-Max Conference second team. 500 free-forge, Diane 800 free. Also swam and finished 8th in the 1653 and 1840.62 last year. So the introduction of the swimmers here in the race. And let's take a look at where we are through lap 22. Emily Reel in front, 549.46 ahead of D'Esposito and Keith running second and third, very close to each other. So Reel setting the pace at 5:57, 8 seconds behind. So 3 places separated by 8 seconds. We'll be watching D'Esposito and we will take a commentary break here in this Britain's 1650 Freestyle. We'll let you watch it. Continue watching at nomaxsports.com. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Middle part of this race, we're watching the 2016 MAC Championships for swimming at nomaxsports.com. Aquatic Center in York, PA. Rob Dawson here for the 2016 Max Swimming Championships. We're under 30 laps to go. Emily Reel still in front. And now she is beginning lap 39. 10:05.85, she is in front. And let's see who else is going to clock in. We were watching D'Esposito and Heath as well. D'Esposito and Heath very close for second. Let's see the difference, 10:19.93, 10:20.42. A difference of 0.5 of a second as we come through till lap 40 here. Emily Reel making the turn. She's in lap 3, just finishing lap 40. 32.24 in the last 50, 10:38.09 as she makes the turn. D'Esposito's in 4, Heath is in 6. And let's see the turn and the flip, and D'Esposito ahead by a second now. D'Esposito turning on the jets, perhaps leaving Britta Heath behind. Here's lap 42. Emily Reel turns and touches, and Reel 31.95 through the through the last 50. 11:10.04 her time. So Esposito matching strokes now with Heath. Esposito makes the turn. Important to note, as well as Myers also with her. So let's take a look. D'Esposito, Myers, and Heath all together for second place, and they're all in the middle of the pool. Meanwhile, you'll see a Reel. She's on the left side of your screen. She just flipped and turned, finishing lap 44 at 31.64, 11:41.68, well ahead of the pace. She's going one way. The other three battling for second are going another way. As they turn, still very even between 4, 5, and 6. D'Esposito has pulled into second, ahead by 0.3 over Myers, and Myers is 0.7 ahead of Heath. So 3 racers separated by a second now. As Reel turns and flips, she finishes 46. She is on one heck of a pace right now, 31.68. In this race, the championship record 17:48.22. The MAC record 17:42.72. Emily Reel won the race last year in record time. Can she break her own record? We'll be eyeing that closely. And Emily Reel is done with lap 48. She turns 31.76 in the last 50 for her, and now she's up to 12:45.12. 4, 5, and 6 still neck and neck with each other, maybe edging in front a little bit is Alyssa Myers from Widener. And they come to the blocks here. D'Esposito, Myers, and Heath. D'Esposito trying to lengthen the lead a little bit, and up by 0.3 of a second. Heath has fallen off the pace in lane 6. You can see it right here towards the top of your screen. And now between second, it might just be between D'Esposito and Myers. Meanwhile, 50 in the books, and Reel is at 13:16.92. Reel just comfortably going down the length of the pool. She's complete through lap 51. And meanwhile, D'Esposito and Myers very tightly packed together in 2 and 3. D'Esposito in front by 0.18 of a second. Reel finishes lap 52, 31.84 over the last 50, 13:48.76. Doing very well. So now, Myers seeing if she can catch D'Esposito. D'Esposito is fading. Myers might touch first here. Oh, no, just by a little bit D'Esposito touches. And D'Esposito clinging to a 0.2 of a second lead. Meanwhile, Reel finishes lap 54. We're following her as she swims through about 5-6 through the race. 55 laps of 66. Going to be complete here with Reel when she turns. Meanwhile, in lane 5 right now, Myers doing work on D'Esposito. Can she catch her and pass her on this lap? Myers touches first this time, and she has pulled ahead of D'Esposito by 0.2 of a second. Reel through 56 laps, comfortably in front. 31.89, 14:52.5 is the split time. And now, losing a lot of time on the turn was D'Esposito, trying to recover a little bit. Myers is still in front. Yeah, Real turns from 57, now on lap 58. Here in this 1650 freestyle for the women. D'Esposito and Myers turn back towards the far side of the pool. Real comes to the left side and taps through 58 laps, 31.72, 15:24 is her pace. She's already on lap 59. Just starting lap 58, 4 and 5, and Myers going into a second gear. D'Esposito trying to keep up, and Myers from Widener. Let's see what the lead is going to be here. Myers at 32.74. She increases her lead to about a second now. Myers was a second behind a few laps ago. Lap 61 for Real. We'll be watching to see what the record is. The championship record, 17:48.22. The MAC record, 17:42.72 by Real. Lap 62 now. D'Esposito is fading here, and Myers is going to increase her lead again. She's consistent at 32.73. D'Esposito has slipped to 33.4 in the last 50. And now D'Esposito has fallen to a second behind, now risks placing fourth. Meanwhile, Real is on 63. Perhaps tiring a little bit here, but she's still well in front. Real turning on lap 64. Myers almost swimming into the lane barrier, but now makes the turn. Myers still in front of D'Esposito. And now there's the bell. Emily Real, one more length to go, and she touches at 16:55. Well, no, that's the wrong time. 16:59.93. Needs a simple back and forth. Not sure if the championship record is in reach for Real anymore. Real makes the turn for the final lap. Real getting a round of applause. The crowd knows it. 17:48.22 is the championship. Real is going to come in, and Real is going to set a new championship record. The one that was, and a new MAC record as well. Emily Real, 17:30.96, and now the race is on for second. Myers looks like she's going to take it here. Myers is going to finish in second in lane 5, 31.76 in her last 50. D'Esposito finishes third. So it's Real 1, Myers 2, D'Esposito 3. Messiah goes 1, 2. Messiah 1, Widener 2, and Arcadia 3. And that is how the top three standings go as we wait for the final finishers here in this race. Four more finishers to go, and now Partridge finishes for Widener. So Emily Real, 17:30.36, shatters the women's 1650-yard freestyle record and the championship record by 18 seconds and by 12 seconds respectively. So Emily Real just continues her torrent performance in this MAC championship. So all 8 finishers in the water. And now we get set for the men's 1650-yard freestyle. So the women get out, and now the top 8 seeds for the men will enter the pool deck. for the 1650-yard freestyle, heading to the starters block. And now they will head to the blocks here. Here are the introductions going on. We'll tell you more about each participant as we move along through the race. And we up to the blocks now for the beginning of 66 lap race. And they're off into the water in the men's championship of the 1650-yard freestyle. This is the final. This is heat 1 listed, but it's actually the final heat as these are the top seeds. Top seed overall, Cameron Rogers, the junior from Hood, using the 1000 freestyle time of 10:05.87 as the number 1 seed. So Cameron Rogers is the lane 4, watching for the Hood Blazers. Cameron Rogers for Hood, junior from Severn, Maryland, Archbishop Spalding High School. Cameron Rogers, 5'10", and as I mentioned, the junior. And gave his Archbishop Spalding team 2012 and 2013 conference championships. His best mark this season in the 1650, 1653.83 back on November 22nd in the 2015 Diamond City Invitational. Last year, his best time in the 1650 was right here in the MAC Championship at 1628.38. So Cameron Rogers trying to keep that going here. He's in lane 4. Other racers in the event, Jeremy Wakely, the freshman from Messiah, in lane 1. Jeremy Wakely in lane 1. Jeremy Wakely, the 5'11" freshman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Shaler Area High School. He's an engineering major at Messiah and looking to try and get a good place here, able to make the top seed in lane 1. Brendan Mackey-Wood, the freshman from Albright, promising young freshman for Albright. Brendan Mackey-Wood in lane 2. And Brendan Mackey-Wood has already had a very good placement here in the MAC Swimming Championships for the first 3 days of the tournament. 3rd in the 800 freestyle relay, 3rd in the 500 freestyle. Seeing if he can add to that honor roll here. Brendan Mackey-Wood specializes in distance and the IM. Stands at 6 foot tall. And the freshman from Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, and Wilson High School, of course, as we mentioned throughout, in his very first meet, he won 2 events. So Brendan Mackey-Wood in lane 2. Evan Perkowski, the sophomore from Widener, in lane 3. Evan Perkowski from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, Waynesboro High School, All-MAC Conference second team in the 400 medley relay, and also ran the All-10 meets as a freshman, All-MAC second team in the 400-yard medley relay. So it doesn't have a personal best listed, so I'm wondering if this is Perkowski's first time at running the 1650. We mentioned Rogers in lane 4. Grant Fisher for Arcadia in lane 5. And Grant Fisher, sophomore from Arcadia, from Ardmore, Pennsylvania, and Harrington High School. Grant Fisher coming a little bit closer to home. We mentioned before, from St. Lawrence University, transferred in 2014-15. He placed 5th in the 50 freestyle. So got to watch Grant Fisher and to see how he does in this event. He got a 16:32.26 in this event. So we'll see if Grant Fisher, the new member for Arcadia, can get going here in the MAC Championship and challenge Cameron Rogers. Sam Smith, the freshman from Widener, is in lane 6. And Sam Smith, the freshman from Columbus, Ohio, St. Charles Prep High School. He's the team captain as a senior in high school. 500 free, 455.25 is personal best. And he also played water polo as well. So Sam Smith spending a lot of time in the water no matter where he is. Aaron Ekman, the senior from Messiah, in lane 7. Aaron Ekman, the senior from New Holland, Pennsylvania, Lancaster Mennonite High School. Last year, first team All-MAC in this event. Second team All-MAC as a sophomore, and first team All-MAC as a freshman. So Aaron Ekman seeing if he can somehow come in first in this event. And Matt Bacon, the sophomore in Widener, in lane 8. Matt Bacon from Middletown, Delaware, and mechanical engineering major. 13th in the 1650 freestyle in 18:01.61 a year ago. That was his personal best in that event here. Let's take a look as you've been watching here. And Cameron Rogers in front through 24 laps at 5:47.42. Fisher about 3 seconds behind at 5:50.28. And Matt Bacon in lane 8. Well, no, Matt Bacon still being lapped. So we're here at lap 26 now, and in the middle of the pool, it is Cameron Rogers from Hood leading this one. We're going to take a commentary break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. You'll get to watch the men's 1650 free. The top seeds go at it here to see if they can finish within the top 8. We're back in a moment. This is the 2016 MAC Championships for swimming on GoMacSports.com. Welcome back here to the Graham Aquatic Center in York, Pennsylvania. We're in the second half of this 1650 freestyle for the men. And we're watching Cameron Rogers, who's leading things as we're entering lap 38 as well. Cameron Rogers leading the charge down the middle of the pool in lane 4. And let's see where Cameron Rogers is going to end up here. Rogers at 29.99. A blistering pace, 9:16.75 in lane 4. Grant Fisher, 30.64 in the last 50. And Fisher is 9:25.20. So Fisher in lane 5 here. And Cameron Rogers is just blazing through the rest of this field right now. And we're wondering if Grant Fisher is lurking in the back, waiting for his time to come out and steal the race. We mentioned Brendan Mackey Wood in lane 2, third in the 800 freestyle relay, third in the 500 freestyle. Number 4, Cameron Rogers trying to add to a second place in the 500 freestyle. Looking very good here. Grant Fisher, first in the 500 freestyle, second in the 800 freestyle relay for him. And Sam Smith, first in the 800 freestyle relay. So a very decorated portion here. Emily Reel from the women's team adding to her total. Britta Heath as well, adding to her total from yesterday, where she got a second in the 500 freestyle, third in the 400 IM in the race before. Pellegrin adding to her total from yesterday with the third in the 800 freestyle relay from a few days ago. With her performance in the women's 1650. Right now, Cameron Rogers, 10:46.81 right now. Grant Fisher in lane 5, just making the turn and trying to chase Cameron Rogers down. So 45 laps through. Now we're on lap 46. Rogers making his way down the pool. And Fisher, hard to see if he's gaining or not because he just turned and now heading back down the pool. Rogers, let's see how he did. 29.61. Still swimming in a very good clip. 11:16.42 with 20 laps to go. Fisher just starting lap 47. Fisher 11:26.75 through 20 laps with 20 laps to go. So Rogers just continuing to motor through and motor through. Gets to lap 48. Rogers 30.1 in that last 50, 11:46.52. So really just the Cameron Rogers show here through the 1650. Grant Fisher still laboring behind here. Completing lap 49 is Rogers. And now Rogers through 1,250 yards is going to have the lead here. Still swimming under 30 seconds per 50 yards. This is in the men's 1650 freestyle. 12:16 for Rogers the time. Fisher is just touched and making the turn up for lap 51. 12:27. He's 11 seconds behind. Rogers, lap 51. And now going towards lap 52 here. Rogers turning. Now moving for lap 53. Meanwhile, Fisher in lane 5 just met him going back the other way. Rogers turning and coming down for lap 54. So 66 laps in all in this race. 25-yard pool, 1650 is the distance here. And this will be, Cameron Rogers can hold on, this will be good points for Hood right now. There are 3 Widener swimmers in the pool right now, but Evan Perkowski in lane 3 lapped right now, as well as Sam Smith and Matt Bacon. So we'll get points, but not as much as Cameron Hood is going to give Hood right now. This is lap 56 coming up, so Grant Fisher just starting his lap, and Cameron Rogers just ending it. Lap 57 now. Rogers at 13:46.29. The championship record 16:10.63, set by Rick Sutton. And the MAC championship, that is also a MAC conference record. And lap 58, Rogers. And now flips and turns. Rogers 29.96, so consistent. 14:16.25. And Fisher just getting to finish lap 58, 31 seconds even. So Rogers 59, and now heading for lap 60 here. Rogers with 6 laps to go is going to touch here with 29.87. So keeping an eye on the record to see. He would have to finish 6 laps in a minute and a half. He is a little close. Rogers still motoring through. He's just finished 61. Now 62 coming up for Rogers. And as we said, the record 16:10. He is still holding on to a consistent pace here. So 4 laps to go. Rogers at 30.01. He, on that pace, is just going to miss the record, but he may make a Division III cut of 16:16.65. 3 laps left to go. Rogers battling through the middle of the pool. Rogers in lap 64. Still going strong. There's the bell. And Rogers is going to flip and turn 30.02. He is going to be right there for a chance at the NCAA D3 B cut. He might make or break it by a few tenths of a second. Rogers, lap 65. And now coming down for the final stretch run. You can hear the Hood crowd cheering him on in the middle of the pool. His coach is imploring him to do it. Hood trying to get to the NCAA Division III B cut. And Rogers is going to do it with a sizzling 28.93 in the last 50, 16:15.08. And Cameron Rogers to the NCAA Division III B cut. Grant Fisher is going to come in second place in this race. Cameron Rogers, MAC champion in the 16:50 by 18 seconds. Fisher at 16:33. Wakely for Messiah finishes in third at 16:44. Fourth place goes to Ekman, fifth to Smith, sixth to Murkowski. So 16:50 for the men's freestyle complete. And now we get ready for the women's 200-yard backstroke. Still one competitor left in lane 8 is Matt Bacon for Widener. Finishing the 16:50. So Cameron Rogers, #1 seed overall. And keeping that distinction in line, Rogers finishes 16:15.08 inside of the NCAA D3 B cut.
Congratulations, gentlemen. That was a great race.
Now getting set for the women's 200-yard backstroke. And this is the consolation final for the women's 200-yard backstroke. Lane 4, the leader in this heat is Liv Snyder, the freshman from Stevenson, 216.40. She has the #1 placement in this consolation. Women's 200-yard backstroke. She swam this in 220.02 at the Diamond City Invitational earlier this season. Stevenson in the second year of the swimming program, seeing if they could get a consolation winner here. Also, other racers in the event. Alex Duarte, fresh senior from FDU. Emma Steerer, sophomore from Widener. Bridget Wynn, lane 3, junior from Kings. Snyder in lane 4. Caitlin McGaw, the senior, and Messiah in lane 5. Ann Lassard, the junior, and Hood in lane 6. Taylor Grenier in lane 7, the senior from Misericordia. And Lucy Riley, lane 8, the sophomore from Arcadia. And they're off in the 200-yard backstroke. We mentioned Taylor Grenier, another swimmer to watch in lane 7. Taylor Grenier from Misericordia, second in the 200 medley relay, second in the 400 medley relay, third in the 200 freestyle relay. So we're off in the 200-yard backstroke. This is the consolation final here. So now, taking a look here at the first 50 yards, very competitive race. Let's see who touches first. It is Caitlin McGaw, slightly ahead of everyone by about 15 hundredths of a second. Snyder at 31.24. Got to watch them in the middle of the pool. Now Snyder maybe trying to inch ahead of McGaw in the middle of the pool. We're 75 yards through in the women's 200-yard backstroke in the consolation final. They both flip and turn, and now Snyder lost a little bit on the turn. Maybe McGaw from Messiah battling her. McGaw is going to reach out in front here, and McGaw is going to touch. She has lengthened her lead a little bit, 33.79 in the last 50. Snyder lost a second and is about 1.1 seconds behind. And McGaw looking very comfortable. Snyder trying to gain some comfort here. 125 yards through, and McGaw flips and turns. Snyder very slow on the turn, and now McGaw may have lengthened her lead a little bit more. McGaw motoring through, she's in first. Dog race for second right now between 3 swimmers. McGaw will tap, and she's in first right now over the last 50. Wynn, Snyder, Lassard for Hood, all involved, and now coming up on the last 50 yards or so. It is McGaw who has edged her lead, and she will make the turn here, and a very tight race between 3, 4, and 6. McGaw is going to turn the turn, and she is motoring through. Snyder has fallen off the pace a lot, and now a race for second between Wynn and Lassard. And McGaw is going to touch first and win the consolation. Wynn in second, Lassard third, Snyder fourth, Grenier fifth in the consolation final. So congratulations to Caitlin McGaw, a time of 2:14.97. So Caitlin McGaw wins that race. So now it's time for the championship of the women's 200-yard backstroke. As they make their way to the pool blocks, it is worth noting Cameron Rogers from the 1650-yard freestyle, definitely a top 10 finisher in that event. So now we take a look at the champions coming through here for the women's 200-yard backstroke. The championship record in the event, 2:02.01, set by Laura Harris at the MAC Championship in 2014. The D3B cut 204.63. The A cut at 157.64. And the leading seed in this one, the best preliminary time in the conference, is Annie Walker in lane 4, the senior from Widener, 2:12.82, her preliminary time. The other swimmers, Alyssa D'Esposito, the freshman from Arcadia in lane 1. Joelle Williamson, the sophomore from Messiah in lane 2. Brianna Hand-Solomon, the freshman from Hood in lane 3. We mentioned Walker in lane 4. And Molly Martin, the freshman from Messiah in lane 5. Shannon McHale, the senior from Hood in lane 6. Marissa Gombosi, the sophomore from Messiah in lane 7. Misericordia in lane 7. And Felicia Sawyer, the senior from Lycoming in lane 8. Annie Walker, second in the 200 freestyle relay, third in the 100 backstroke. Can she get a first here and help Widener try and chip into Messiah's lead? Also, Joelle Williamson from Messiah a first in the 200 medley relay, first in the 400 medley relay, first in the 100 backstroke. We'll be keeping an eye on her in lane 2. And Marissa Gambosi, also a top 3 finisher for Misericordia. Marissa Gambosi, second in the 200 medley relay, second in the 400 medley relay, second in the 100 backstroke. We're ready for the championship here. All the swimmers in the water as we get set for the women's 200-yard backstroke. Walker in lane 4, the top prelim time. And we're off. And the women's 200-yard backstroke, the championship heat. Off to a quick start is Walker, seemingly edging out everyone as they head to the far end of the pool. Walker first to turn, a very quick turn for Walker in the backstroke through 25 yards. And now coming up through the 50-yard mark. Watch the top end of the pool. Gambosi making it interesting. Now Walker's still able to out-touch everyone through the first 50. 29.57, Gambosi's running second. They make the turn through 50 yards and now headed towards the 75-yard mark. Walker looking very comfortable. Gambosi maybe content with lurking from behind. So now making the turn through 75 yards is Walker. Walker and Gambosi pop up at the same time. 75 yards through. Going to be very interesting to see at the split. Walker going into higher gear right now, and she's going to tap first. 32.59 over the last 40, and it's anyone's race for second right now. 102.16. Han Solomon may have out-touched Gambosi, so we're watching Han Solomon in lane 3 as well. It's Han Solomon and Gambosi in a race for second. Meanwhile, Walker taps at the 125-yard mark on the far side of the pool in front of everyone. Gambosi might have the edge on Han Solomon now as they head towards the 150-yard mark. Gambosi trying to go into higher gear in lane 7. Walker's going to tap first again at 34.87 over the last 50. Now Martin may have gotten in before Gambosi as well. And Martin 138.64 leading in second place. A very competitive women's 200-yard backstroke. Walker slowing a little bit slower on the turn. Also turning right behind her in lane 5 was Martin. And now it's Walker. Martin trying to catch her. Does Walker have enough? Walker seems to be a little bit slower. Martin gaining on her in lane 5 at the top of your screen. Walker, Walker touches first. Despite a second quicker on the last 50 by Martin, Walker out-touches Martin and wins by 0.6 of a second. Finishing third is Williamson in lane 2 for Messiah. First place goes to Annie Walker from Widener. Second place, Martin from Messiah. Third place, Williamson for Messiah. Messiah continuing to add the points here with a second and third place finish. And the finishing time, 2:12.04 for the women's 200-yard backstroke. Just missing a top 10 finish, all time in the MAC conference by Walker, 2:12.04. So we're here for the men's 200-yard backstroke. The top seed in this heat, Michael Mellison, a freshman from Arcadia, Michael Mellison rather, the freshman from Arcadia in lane 4, 2 minutes, .92 his time. Mellison, also a winner, second in the 800 freestyle relay. Also in this race, Zachary Griffith, lane 1, the sophomore from Albright. James Proul, the junior from Widener, lane 2. Sean Yashovitz, the senior from Albright, lane 3. Connor Hassert, the freshman from Albright, lane 5. Daniel Jessen, lane 6, the junior from Messiah. John Quasar, the freshman from Kings in lane 7. And Matt Bacon, the sophomore from Widener, in lane 8 as we are underway in the men's 200-yard backstroke consolation final. As they make the turn on the far end of the pool, challenging in lane 6 early is Dan Jessen from Messiah. It is Jessen and Mellison. And let's see who tapped first. Mellison just tapped ahead of Jessen there. 27.82 for Mellison, setting the pace early on. And Mellison has gone out in front, settling back to the pack In lane 6 is Jessen. 75 yards through the books and comfortably in front is Mellison of Arcadia. Arcadia trying to finish better than their program best of 6th place. They have a good shot at doing that as a team in this championship. 100 yards through Mellison at 29.55 over the last 50. 57.37 is 2 seconds ahead of Hassard at 59.76, his most direct challenger. 125 yards through, and it's Mellison making the turn. He is comfortably in front, and now a very interesting race for second developing in lanes 5 and 6 between Hassard of Albright and Jessen of Messiah. 150 yards through, it's Mellison at 30.8, and now making the turn and heading towards the middle of the pool. Nearing 25 yards left to go, and pulling out in front in second place in a big way is Hassard. So now flipping and turning is Mellison, 25 yards to go. And Mellison is going to win this consolation final handily here. 10 yards to go, 5 yards to go, and Mellison is going to come out the winner. And now let's see who's for second. Close race between Yashovitz and Jessen, and Hassard actually comes in there, finishes second. Yashovitz third, Jessen fourth. So Mellison wins the consolation final, 159.68. And now the championship for the men's 200-yard backstroke. The finalists being introduced here at the pool deck. Championship record 148.29 set by Ralph Perazzo. The D3 B cut 151.73. The A cut for the NCAA 144.47. Joe Gerzak, the overall number 1 in the preliminary from Misericordia, the sophomore, he's in lane 4. Also others in the race, Curtis Platil, the freshman from Messiah in lane 1, Eric Lom, lane 2, the junior from Arcadia, Patrick Odell, lane 3, the senior from Misericordia. We mentioned Gerzak, the sophomore from Misericordia. Chris Gardner, the junior from Hood in lane 5, Bryce Groschart, the freshman from Kings in lane 6, Andrew Canavan, the sophomore from Lycoming in lane 7, and Nolan McArdle, the sophomore from Messiah in lane 8. We mentioned Gerzak in lane 4. Gerzak has had a very decorated championship already. Previous days, first in the 400 medley relay, third in the 200 freestyle relay, second in the 200 freestyle, second in the 100 backstroke. Patrick Odell, third in the 400 IM. Chris Gardner in lane 5, the junior from Hood, second in the 400 IM, third in the 100 backstroke in the previous 2 days. As we get ready for the men's 200-yard backstroke. And this event here, Joe Gerzak swam the NCAA beat cut time in this race before. And Patrick Odell in lane 3 last year finished third in this event. Trying to see if he could do better here. We're off in the 200-yard backstroke in this championship final. We'll keep an eye on the record of 148.29 as they make the turn 25 yards into the race. Very competitive, 4, 5, 6, and 7 actually running a little bit in front, and there's Nolan McArdle challenging in lane 8. Gerzak and Gardner and McArdle top 3 through 50 yards. Now they make towards the 75-yard mark. Gerzak matching stroke for stroke with Gardner. They turn pretty much identical. Gardner may have gained a little bit on the turn from Hood. Gardner and Gerzak go at it. Gerzak slapping the water very close to the lane barrier and through 100 yards. It is Gardner, 27.83, very quick in the last 50, and he takes the lead by 0.3 of a second. So Gardner, as Gerzek recovered a little bit here, we're through 125. They flip and turn, and Gardner's first to pop out of the water and start swimming. Gerzek now with a little bit more in the middle of the pool. Gerzek and Gardner are neck and neck, heading for the last 50. Gardner is just going to outtouch Gerzek. Gardner's lead is now up to a half a second. Gerzek, does he have anything left in lane 4? Gardner in lane 5 may have more as they turn to the 25-yard mark, 25 yards remaining. And now making the turn, Gardner blazing through. Gardner putting on, what a performance! Gardner pulling away from Gerzek. Gerzek, last second ditch, but not enough. Gardner wins in first place. Gerzek in second. Gardner 153.01. 153.01 for Gardner in first place. And in the 200-yard backstroke in MAC history, a top 10 performance. So the awards ceremony are getting set here. We've just completed 2 events, so we'll have the 1650 Freestyle Awards presentation. Remember, these finals took place over the morning and the evening, the only event to do that here in the championships. As we take a break here from all the excitement that has come through over the first 2 events in this MAC 2016 championship. It's the men's 200-yard backstroke. Finalists get out of the water and brace. So we'll go over the top 16 finishers. These were over the morning and the evening. Samantha Irace at 16th place, sophomore from FDU, 1940.26. Danielle Fundakowski, sophomore from Arcadia, 1936.65. 14th place, Amanda Schwartman, the freshman from Kings. Allie Peters, the senior from Albright, in 13th place. Anna Pellegro, the junior from Widener, in 12th place. Brittany Whitham, the senior from Hood, in 11th place. Carrie Ciriello, the senior from Misericordia, in 10th place. And winning and finishing in 9th place, Caroline Patterson, the freshman from Arcadia, 1853.75, what would have been the top consolation winner if it was like the other events. Now the top 8 finishers. Alicia Jenkins, the senior from Widener, in 8th place. Katie Fitch, 7th place, the junior from Kings. Sam Hand, the junior from Albright, in 6th place. 5th place, Eva Partridge, the freshman from Widener. Britta Heath, freshman from Messiah, in 4th place. And the top 3 finishers, Alyssa D'Esposito, the freshman from Arcadia, 18 minutes, .60. Alyssa Myers, 17:58.52, and setting a MAC and championship record. Emily Reel shattering both records, 17:30.36. 20 points for Messiah, 17 for Widener, 16 from Arcadia, and the list goes on and so forth. The top 16 get at least a point. And here that wraps up the award ceremony for the 1650 for the women. And now we'll go over the results, the official results for the men's 1650-yard freestyle as the women are being recognized here. Emily Reel, by the way, also a D3 beat cut with that. They just made the announcement there. So now the men's 1650 freestyle. 16th place, Nate Dubbs, the freshman from Kings. 15th place, William Nolter, the senior from Arcadia. Matthew Ball, 14th place, the freshman from Hood. Matt Bacon, the sophomore from Widener, in 13th place. Sean Yashovitz, the senior from Albright, in 12th place. Jace Temperine, the sophomore from Albright, in 11th place. Christopher Kurtz, the sophomore from Lebanon Valley, in 10th place. And Michael Curry, senior from Hood, in 9th place. And Michael Curry, with a time of 17:18 even, would have been the top consolation winner. Top 8 places, Max Riddell, the freshman from Hood, 17:05.89. Brendan Mackeywood, the freshman from Albright, in 7th place. Evan Perkowski, the sophomore from Widener, in 6th place. Sam Smith, the freshman from Widener, in 5th place. Aaron Ekman, the senior from Messiah, in 4th place. And the top 3 finishers, Jeremy Wakely, the freshman from Messiah, in 3rd place at 16:44.39. Grant Fisher, 2nd place, 16:33.25. The sophomore from Arcadia. And in 1st place, MAC champion in the men's 1650, Cameron Rogers, the junior from Hood, 16:15.08. Hood gets 20 points for that. Arcadia 17, Messiah 16. A very action-packed event here. As the men's team is getting introduced through 13 events for the women, we have updated team standings. 1st place, Messiah, extending their lead a little bit more to 190 points. Messiah 643, Widener 453, Misericordia 303. Battle perhaps for 3rd place for the women, with Arcadia at 4th place at 270. Hood at 220 in 5th place, Lycoming in 6th place at 158. Kings in 7th, behind Lycoming by a point. Albright in 8th place, Lebanon Valley 9th. Stevenson 10th, Wilkes 11th, and Fairleigh Dickinson 12th. And 14 events through the women. As Cameron Rogers, 3rd fastest time in the 1650s. We mentioned a top 10 performance. Further research. 3rd place, top 3 finisher all time in MAC history. Cameron Rogers makes his way to the podium. Updated men's standings through 14 events. Widener, a 44-point lead, 387 over Albright, 343. Messiah 3rd at 332. Arcadia 4th at 312. Misericordia 295 at 5th. Hood in 283. In theory, 3 teams, maybe 4, have a chance at winning the team championship for the men. Lycoming in 7th, Kings in 8th, Lebanon Valley 9th, FDU Forum 10th, Stevenson 11th, Wilkes 12th. 1650 award ceremony in the books. And now we head to the 100 freestyle. The 29th event, the 15th for the men and women. And this is the consolation final here. Lydia Ellsworth, top seed in this heat, the junior from Messiah in lane 4. Other races, Michaela Miller, the freshman from Kings in lane 1. Sarah Bennett, lane 2, the sophomore from FDU. Emily Kramer, the freshman from Lycoming in lane 3. Rachel Finnegan, we're also watching her in lane 5, the sophomore from Messiah. Ashley Griffin, the junior from Hood in lane 6. Christine Allison, the freshman from Albright in lane 7. Amanda Lopez, the freshman from Wilkes in lane 8. Rachel Finnegan has finished in the top 3 earlier in this championship. Finnegan 2nd in the 200 medley relay, 2nd in the 800 freestyle relay, 3rd in the 200 freestyle relay. And as we mentioned, Ellsworth before was 2nd team All-MAC in the 100 and 200 butterfly. Now seeing what she could do in the 100 freestyle. From Edwardsville, Pennsylvania, Wyoming Valley West High School, Ellsworth in lane 4. So we begin the consolation for the women's 100-yard freestyle. And they're off here. 4 laps in this race. Putting pressure on the early going in lane 5 is Finnegan. As they make the turn and come very evenly matched here in this race. Very hard to pick a leader. Finnegan and Kramer maybe tapping first and second there. So now the last 50 yards coming through here at the 75-yard mark. And tapping the far wall almost simultaneously, Ellsworth and Finnegan. Ellsworth and Finnegan in the middle of the pool. Actually, also Kramer and Griffin involved as well. Griffin maybe from lane 6. And touching is Finnegan first, Ellsworth second, Griffin third. Griffin had a chance at first, faded at the very last moment. Ellsworth finishes in second. Finnegan finishes first at 55.45 in the Consolation. So congratulations to Rachel Finnegan, Consolation champion in the 100 freestyle. So now the champions here for the women's 100-yard freestyle as they entering the pool deck here. Katie Wingert, a sophomore from Messiah in lane 4, the overall #1 in the preliminaries. She'll be in lane 4. Brittany Pond in lane 1, the freshman from Messiah. Lane 2, Erica Wise, the freshman from Lebanon Valley. Christine Kunzler, the sophomore from Widener in lane 3. We mentioned Wingert in 4. Tara Freeman, her teammate, the junior from Messiah in lane 5. Morgan Hannadell in lane 6, the sophomore from Misericordia. Melanie Heald, the junior from Widener in lane 7. And Kaylin Augustine, the freshman from Widener in lane 8. Those are your assignments here for the women's 100-yard freestyle championship. The championship record, 51.9 by Laura Harris in 2011. The MAC record by Cody Herr, 52.20. Katie Wingert, a very decorated swimmer here in this championship, as many Messiah swimmers are. First in the 800 freestyle relay, the 400 medley relay, 200 IM, 200 freestyle relay, 200 freestyle. Erica Wise finished first in the 50 freestyle. Kunzler, third place in the 800 freestyle relay, second in the 200 freestyle relay and the 200 freestyle. Tara Freeman, several firsts, 200 medley relay, 800 freestyle relay, second in the 50 freestyle, first in the 200 freestyle relay, and third in the 200 freestyle. And Morgan Hannadell, the sophomore from Misericordia. Hannadell second places in the 800 freestyle relay, 400 medley relay, and third in the 200 freestyle relay from previous days. Melanie Heald, third in the 800 freestyle relay, 400 medley relay, second in the 200 freestyle relay, and third in the 200 freestyle. And they're off in the 100. Caitlin Augustine, also in the previous day, third 800 freestyle relay. We are underway in the 100 3-yard freestyle for the championship. 25 yards through. Popping out of the water first in lane 5 is Freeman from Messiah. Freeman trying to edge through, but Wingert right with her. Wingert and Miss Freeman touching and helping each other, pushing each other. 25.04. Wingert comes across first. Very competitive here in the championship. Coming up at the 75-yard mark as they make the turn. Almost everyone simultaneous here. And now getting a big jump off the turn is Morgan Hannadell from Misericordia. Now in the middle of the pool again is Wingert, and she's going to take first, race for second between Kunzler and Freeman. Freeman touches first and second, Kunzler in third. Pond in fourth. Wingert 51.97, and Wingert sets a new MAC conference record, just falls short of the championship record by 0.07 of a second. So Katie Wingert in first gives the Messiah another first in the event. In the 100-yard freestyle, And top 10 performances. There, definitely a top 10 performance in the event. So congratulations to Katie Winger. Now we're set to go for the men's consolation in the 100-yard freestyle. Let's take a look who's in the race. Stan Apostolou, the senior from Lycoming, the overall #1 in this event. He's in lane 4. Others, Randall DeAsis, the freshman from Kings in lane 1. Jake Schellinger, lane 2, the sophomore from Arcadia. Joseph Cornelius, the senior from Messiah in lane 3. Ryan Franklin, the freshman from Hood in lane 5. Nick Luca, the sophomore from Misericordia in lane 6. Bobby Jacobs, the junior from Misericordia in lane 7. And AJ Colley, the freshman from Arcadia in lane 8. Apostolou, pretty decorated top 3 finishers, second places in the 200 medley relay and the 400 medley relay earlier. Nick Luca, a champion in the 400 medley relay and 3rd in the 200 freestyle relay. And Bobby Jacobs, 3rd in the 200 freestyle relay as well. They're off in the consolation of the men's 100-yard freestyle. 25 yards through in the freestyle, furiously hitting the waters, everyone. Maybe an edge in lane 6 for Nick Luca. And flipping first, though, is Apostolou. 50 yards in, he sets the pace at 22.76. And now Apostolou still edging out everyone. He still has more as he turns with 25 yards to go. Apostolou in the middle of the pool. And he's still in front, trying to edge is Luca, but Apostolou's too much. And he is the consolation finalist. 24.96, Apostolou, the consolation champion at 47.72. Second place goes to Cornelius from Messiah, 49.16. Apostolou best of the field by 1.4 seconds. So now the champions of the men's 100-yard freestyle about to enter the pool deck here. And everyone has finished in the top 3 in something here. Jeremy Lon, lane 1, the sophomore from Widener. Jeffrey Hicks, the junior from Widener, lane 2. Matt Cullen, the senior from Misericordia in lane 3. And of course, Ian Gaynor from Ireland. And Widener University, the junior, the overall #1. In the men's 100-yard freestyle in lane 4. AJ Green, the freshman from Widener in lane 5. Tom Platt, the sophomore from Widener. In lane 6, Jade Deschamps, the freshman from Albright in lane 7. Matthew Runtis, the senior from Albright in lane 8. There are 5 participants from Widener in this race. So a lot of points to get. Ian Gaynor, first in the Angel Freestyle Relay. 3rd in the 400 medley relay. 1st in the 50 freestyle and the 200 freestyle relay and in the 200 freestyle. AJ Green, also 3rd place in the 200 medley relay, 400 medley relay, 1st in the 200 freestyle relay, 1st in the 100 butterfly and in the 100 backstroke. Matt Cullen, 1st in the 400 medley relay, 3rd in the 50 freestyle, 3rd in the 200 freestyle relay. Before Jeremy Lon, 3rd in the 200 medley relay. And Jeffrey Hicks, earlier, 1st in the 800 freestyle relay and the 200 freestyle relay, and 3rd in the 400 medley relay. Tom Platt, 3rd place in the 200 medley relay and the 200 freestyle, and 1st in the 800 freestyle relay and 200 freestyle relay. Jade Deschamps, 1st place in the 200 medley relay, 3rd place in the 800 freestyle relay, and 200 freestyle relay finished 2nd. And Matthew Runtis, the senior from Albright. 1st place, 200 medley relay, 2nd in the 50 free, and 2nd in the 200 free relay. We're off in the championship for the 100-yard freestyle in the star-studded event here. Gaynor, quick out of the blocks, and they flip. Very competitive at first out of the water, and challenging Gaynor is AJ Green from Widener. Green and Gaynor going at it. Gaynor and Green going towards, and Gaynor touches first by 0.3 seconds, 21.59. Now up to the 75-yard mark. Gainer showing why he's number one. Flips at 75. The record is 45.70 in the championship. Gainer going down the pool. 10 yards to go, 5 yards to go. Gainer comes in first, Green in second, Cullen third, Widener 1-2, Misericordia in third, and Gainer a time of 45.46. Sets a new MAC record, falls short of the championship record by 1/10 of a second. So Ian Gainer at 45.46, best his time from last year. That was in the top in a MAC championship, or in the men's individual champions top 10 performances. So Ian Gainer, another top 10 performance from him, and just falls short of breaking the championship record. But Ian Gainer showing why he's number one. So now it's time for the 200-yard Backstroke Awards ceremony here. And Gainer, a sizzling 45.46. So now let's take a look and review the women's 200 back final results here. 16th place, Lucy Riley, the sophomore from Arcadia. In 15th place, Alex Duarte, the senior from FDU. In 14th place, Emma Steerer, the sophomore from Widener. In 13th place, Taylor Grenier, the senior from Misericordia. In 12th place, Liv Snyder, the freshman from Stevenson. In 11th place, Ann Lassard, the junior from Hood. In 10th place, Bridget Wynn, the junior from Kings. And Caitlin McGaw finishing in 9th place. She won the consolation at 2:14.97. And now for the top three finishers, or now for the top eight. Felicia Sloyer, senior for Lycoming in 8th place. Alyssa D'Esposito, the freshman from Arcadia, in 7th place. Shannon McHale, the senior from Hood, in 6th place. Brianna Hand-Solomon, the freshman from Hood, in 5th place. Marissa Gombosi, the sophomore from Misericordia, in 4th place. She just missed the top three by Joelle Williamson, who out-touched her at the wall. Williamson in 3rd place with a time of 2:14.21. Gombosi was 2:14.26. 2nd place, Molly Martin, the freshman from Messiah, at 2:12.67. And Annie Walker, MAC champion in the women's 200 backstroke, with a time of 2:12.04. 20 points for Widener, 17 for Messiah, 16 for Messiah, and on 4th down, the top 16 finishers getting at least a point. So Annie Walker, congratulations as she heads to the top of the podium. It's all smiles on the podium. And now we'll give you the results for the men's 200-yard backstroke. Top 16 finishers, Matt Bacon, the sophomore from Widener, in 16th place. 15th place, Zachary Griffith, the sophomore from Albright. 14th place, John Quasier, the freshman from Kings. James Pruill, the junior from Widener, 13th place. Daniel Jessen, the junior from Messiah, in 12th place. Sean Yashovitz, the senior from Albright, in 11th place. Connor Hassard, the freshman from Albright, in 10th place. And winning the consolation final, Michael Mellison, freshman from Arcadia, at 1:59.68 wins the consolation final. And now, for the top 8 finishers, Nolan McArdle, the sophomore from Messiah, in 8th place. Eric Lom, the junior from Arcadia, in 7th place. Curtis Platil, freshman from Messiah, in 6th place. Patrick Odell, the senior from Misericordia, in 5th place. Andrew Canavan, the sophomore from Lycoming, in 4th place. And now for the top 3 finishers. Bryce Groschart, the freshman from Kings, in 3rd place. 1:55.6 his time. Joe Gerzek, the sophomore from Misericordia 153.97. And the MAC champion in the 200-yard backstroke for the men, Chris Gardner, the junior from Hood, with a time of 153.01. 20 points for Hood, 17 for Misericordia, 16 for Kings. And with the top 16 getting at least a point. So let's take a look now at the standings as we've just completed the 100 freestyle. For the women, through 15 events for the women, Messiah increases their lead over Widener now by just under 210 points. Messiah at 702, Widener at 493, Misericordia at 326. Those three seem to be stable throughout all of these events. Arcadia may have a shot at third at 270, Hood 226, Lycoming at 163. Then Kings in 7th, Albright in 8th, Lebanon Valley 9, Stevenson 10, Wilkes 11, and FD Forum 12. As the men are on the podium, being congratulated. And for the men's standings through 15 events, Widener at 463, flexing their muscles now. They are up by 100 points almost by Albright at 369. Messiah at third at 339. Arcadia fourth at 318. Misericordia also tied for fourth at 318. Hood in sixth at 289. Then it's Lycoming in 7. Kings in 8th. Lebanon Valley 9th. FDU Forum 10. Stevenson 11. And Wilkes 12th. The 200 butterfly is up next. The consolation final for the 200-yard butterfly for the women. The second, the 200 breaststroke. My mistake, I'm one event ahead. I was wondering where we were going there. Thank you to our executive producer, Joe Wamba, for assisting there. The women's 200-yard breaststroke. This is event number 31, the 16th event for the women here. Anna McArdle, lane 4, the senior from Messiah, is the lead seed in this heat at 234.99. The other racers, Mackenzie Doherty, lane 1, the freshman from FDU. Rachel Jonas, the senior from Kings, in lane 2. Autumn Merrill, the junior from Messiah, in lane 3. McArdle is 4. Corey Megan, the senior from Widener, in lane 5. Sarah Fasolka, the freshman from Wilkes, in lane 6. Allie Aspie, the freshman from Wilkes, in lane 7. And Katarina Darmafal, the freshman from Misericordia, in lane 8. We are underway here in the 200-yard breaststroke for the women in the consolation final. Here are the 2016 MAC Swimming Champions. Anna McArdle in lane 4. Anna McArdle, last year as a junior, first team All-MAC in this event. She was the MAC champion in the 400 freestyle relay, the senior from Orchard Park, New York. Orchard Park High School. We're through 50 yards, and McArdle is first at 354.22. So now coming through 75 yards, McArdle has a good chunk lead. Race for second looks to be with lane 5, Corey Megan, the senior from Widener. And popping out a long underwater check for Anna McArdle. And McArdle through the middle of the pool. And now we'll get to the 100-yard mark. And she will tap 38.98 in the last 50. Corey Megan right behind her. 113.2 for McArdle, 114.8 for Megan. So does McArdle put the foot on the gas pedal even more? It looks like she is as they go down to the far end of the pool. McArdle touches. It's going to be a tight race for second, maybe. McArdle now going towards a 150-yard mark. And McArdle coming up with 50 yards to go. McArdle touches first, 40.28, a little bit slower in that last 50, but Megan even slower at 42.25. And the lead for McArdle now is 3.5 seconds nearly. And McArdle is increasing her lead. McArdle now will tap the far wall at 175 and head for home in the last 25 yards. Anna McArdle, the senior from Messiah, is going to win the Consolation Final as she is miles ahead of the competition. Look at the race for second though. 3, 5, and 6 edging in front is Megan, Fasolka, and Merrill trying to challenge for second. McArdle finishes first, and now coming into second is Merrill and Megan. Merrill in third, and Megan in second. Megan in third, Merrill in second, and fourth is Jonas, fifth is Fasolka. So the Consolation winner, Anna McArdle, time of 2:33.84. So now we reach the championship for the women's 200-yard breaststroke as the racers come to the pool deck. Let's take a look at who's in the starting blocks here. Samantha Carpenter, the overall #1 in the preliminary. The freshman from Arcadia in lane 4. The other racers, Sarah Woods, the sophomore from Messiah in lane 1. Hannah Oni, sophomore from Kings in lane 2. Erin Neugebauer, the senior from Widener in lane 3. We mentioned Carpenter in lane 4. Danny Blast, the senior from Misericordia in lane 5. Julie Burnett, the freshman from Stevenson in lane 6. Taylor Byers, the freshman from Arcadia in lane 7. And Julie Flynn, the senior from Lycoming in lane 8. Swimmers get to their places in the block in a very decorated race here. Samantha Carpenter has been a top 3 finisher. Third in the 200 medley relay, first in the 100 breaststroke. So trying to make it first in the 200 breaststroke. Erin Neugebauer, third place in the 400 medley relay, 200 IM. Second place in the 200 freestyle relay and 100 breaststroke. Danny Blass, can she finish first in event? She's finished second in the 200 medley relay, 800 freestyle relay, 400 medley relay, 200 IM, and 400 IM. To end her senior career at Misericordia, Taylor Byers, the freshman in lane 7. Byers third in the 200 medley relay earlier in this championship. So they're just introducing the racers here in the 200-yard breaststroke. As we mentioned, Samantha Carpenter, a one to watch here. She was part of the 400 medley relay team for Arcadia that placed 4th, and part of the school record time of 4:03.03. Now trying to make some history by herself. Danny Blast, the max swimmer of the year last year. School record setting win in the 200 breaststroke last year. Also athlete of the month last year. Danny Blast desperately trying to finish first in an event. And Erin Neugebauer, the senior from Widener, transfer from Winona State, and that has paid off for her in dividends. MAC Conference first team in the 200 breast last year. Also MAC Conference first team in 2014 in this event. The championship record, 223.43. The MAC record, 222.49. The D3 B cut at 223.03. The A cut at 214.58. And we're underway here in the championship of the women's 200-yard breaststroke. 25 yards through. You see Carpenter in lane 4, Blast in lane 5. We'll keep our eyes on the middle of the pool. Very competitive to start. Carpenter trying to distinguish herself a little bit. 50 yards through, and Carpenter touches. Oh, Burnett out-touched Carpenter on the first 50 by 100th of a second. Burnett 32.2. Carpenter at 32.21. So now Burnett in lane 6 from Stevenson, and Carpenter in lane 4. We'll keep an eye on here. Also trying to get in the action is Danny Blass. 75 yards in the books. We'll see how they come down the length of the pool here. Burnett still hanging with Carpenter a little bit. Carpenter pushing ahead now a little bit more. Carpenter putting the foot on the gas pedal, and Carpenter touches first, 36.69 in the last 50. Burnett lost 2 seconds on that one. Carpenter 108.9, and Carpenter ahead of the field by at least a second. Carpenter now up to 125 yards. All of a sudden, want to keep an eye on in lane 3, Aaron Neugebauer. 75 yards remaining in the race. Carpenter now in front, watching Danny Blass too. Blass trying to work, but Carpenter extending her lead. Carpenter's going to touch 37.78 in the last 50. Blass slower by 0.8 of a second in that stretch. The lead, 2.5 seconds. Can Blass make up 2.5 seconds? Instead, she's falling more behind. Carpenter in lane 4, making the turn at 175 yards. And now we'll see what the race for second holds. Carpenter well out in front. The record 223.43. Carpenter is nearing 10 yards and 5 yards. She won't get the record, but she'll come in first and be MAC champion. The women's 200 breast. In second is Blass. Third is Neugebauer. Blass coming in at 228 even. Neugebauer in third, 228.78. So for the women in the 200-yard breaststroke, 226.37. A top 10 finish for Carpenter. So now it's time for the men's 200-yard breaststroke consolation final. Let's take a look at the lane assignments here. Josh Shoemaker, junior from Kings, in lane 4. He's the lead seed in this one. Also other racers, Tim Resch, the sophomore from Albright, lane 1. Chris Suter, freshman from Kings, in lane 2. Aaron Griffith, the freshman from Kings, in lane 3. There are 3 Kings participants in this breaststroke. We mentioned Shoemaker in 4. Ryan Early, the freshman from Widener, in lane 5. Stephen O'Brien, the junior from FDU, in lane 6. David Padawaran, the sophomore from Messiah, in lane 7. And Adam Zeck, the senior from Messiah, in lane 8. We mentioned before Josh Shoemaker in lane 4, the leader in this consolation. He was part of the 200 freestyle relay team earlier in this championship that placed 7th at the time of 130.25. We are underway in the men's 200-yard breaststroke consolation final. 25 yards through. Shoemaker and Early for Widener in the middle of things here. And also making some noise on the end is Adam Zeck from Messiah. And tapping first almost simultaneously is Shoemaker and Early. Very competitive first 50 yards between the two. So Shoemaker and Early pretty much matching stroke for stroke here through 75 yards. Shoemaker taps the wall slightly before Early. So it's Josh Shoemaker in 4, Ryan Early in 5. Shoemaker, the bottom of your screen, Early the top. And trying to get involved in the top 3 is O'Brien. But too much of Shoemaker and Early. Shoemaker is going to touch the wall first. Early 0.5 slower on that, and the lead is up to 0.7 for Shoemaker. They've just passed the halfway point of the race. Now up at 125. Shoemaker trying to edge out Early a little bit more. Touches the wall. Early might have lost a little bit of time on that last 25 yards. But a big boost off the wall, and Early trying to go into second gear. Early trying to gain up on Shoemaker. This has gotten a little bit closer now. Shoemaker and Early neck and neck as they go for the last 50. Shoemaker much slower and the lead down to a quarter of a second. Shoemaker and Early in lanes 4 and 5. Leading the charge, you'll see it here as they make the turn for the final 25. It's Shoemaker on the bottom and Early at the top as they go 25 yards to determine the Consolation Championship, and Early is overtaking Shoemaker. Early going into another gear. Can he keep it up? Shoemaker now coming up. Shoemaker and Early's gonna win. Shoemaker in second. Padawan in third, O'Brien in fourth. The top four in the Consolation. So points for Ryan Early from Widener. Shoemaker in second place. You would think that the rest of the field perhaps cheering a little bit for Kings just to see if they could take some points away from the Widener machine. So now, here's the championship for the men's 200-yard breaststroke as the swimmers being introduced to the pool deck, as you can see on the far corner of the pool. Let's take a look at the lane assignments here. Thomas Scott, the junior from Misericordia in lane 4, the overall #1 seed in the event, 207.79. Also the other racers, Trevor Endler, the senior from Lycoming in lane 1. Andrew Gavone, the freshman from Arcadia in lane 2. Andrew Sears, the freshman from Stevenson in lane 3. Thomas Scott, we mentioned in lane 4. Tyler Chamberlain, the freshman from Albright in lane 5. Ken Richardson, the junior from Albright in lane 6. BJ Daisy, the junior from Hood in lane 7. And Andy Mador, the senior from Widener in lane 8. Everyone except for Sears in lane 3 has finished in the top 3 in an event in this MAC championship. Trevor Endler, second in the 200 medley relay and 400 medley relay. Andrew Gavone, second in the 800 freestyle relay. Thomas Scott, first in the 400 medley relay, second in the 200 IM, and the second in the 100 breaststroke. Tyler Chamberlain, first place in the 200 medley relay and the 100 breaststroke and 200 and the freestyle relay. Ken Richardson in lane 6 trying to get the bad taste of a false start in his mouth, but he did win the 200 IM, got second in the 200 freestyle relay and third in the 800 freestyle relay. BJ Daisy, a winner yesterday. Daisy from Hood finishing third in the 100 breaststroke, and Andy Mador, third in the 200 medley relay and third in the 400 medley relay as we get ready for the men's 200-yard breaststroke. Thomas Scott from Misericordia, he won this event last year at the MAC Championships. He also got second place last year in the 100 breast and 200 IM. Tyler Chamberlain from Albright got the B cut in the 100 breaststroke. And Andrew Sears, 104.03 in the 100-yard breast. Now we're ready for the 200-yard breast. In the championship, and now lane 5 and lane 6 off to a big start in this one. Chamberlain in lane 5, Richardson in lane 6. As we come here, very competitive championship for the 200-yard breaststroke through the first 50 yards, but gaining out in front already is Scott and Chamberlain. Scott at 27.67, Chamberlain 27.73. So now it is Scott and Scott with the early blaze here. Scott edging in front a little bit as they touch the wall, but Chamberlain and Scott locked in a tight battle here. And Chamberlain pops out of the water first. Chamberlain, Scott, Chamberlain, and Richardson from bottom to top leading right now, and Scott pulling in front. Scott's going to touch first. Scott 31.3 in the last 50-59 flat. 0.8 of a second in front of Chamberlain. They're through 100, now gearing up on 125 mark. And Scott's going into another gear right now. We'll see if he has enough to maintain this lead or grow it. Scott's out of the water first. And a long underwater sequence by Chamberlain trying to conserve some energy. Richardson in lane 6 maybe pulling into second now. Scott's going to touch first. Richardson in second through 150 yards. The record 207.05 in this event. The MAC record 205.58. Scott all the way down the far end now with 25 yards to go will make the turn and head for home. He's got a chance to set the record if he can keep the pace. Scott and Richardson neck and neck, and Richardson's putting on some steam on the top of your screen in lane 6, but Scott has more energy, and Scott going towards the wall, and Scott sets a championship record in first place. 206.05 beats the championship record by a second. Second place is Richardson, 207.43. Sears in third for Stevenson at 208.59. Andrew Sears leading the charge for Stevenson in the second year of their program, gets a third place finish. Chamberlain slips to fourth. Sears out touching Chamberlain to be in the top 3. So we'll have an award ceremony now for the 100-yard freestyle. Congratulations to Thomas Scott. A new championship record, not breaking the MAC record from 2011, but breaks the championship record from 2010. 6 years ago to the day, Jeff Clark set the men's 200-yard breaststroke, and today it was broken by Thomas Scott from Misericordia at 206.05. So up next, a 100-yard freestyle. We'll review the awards. The individual awards for the women's 100-yard freestyle. 16th place, Christine Allison, the freshman from Albright. 15th place, Michaela Miller, the freshman from Kings. In 14th place, Amanda Lopez, the freshman from Wilkes. Sarah Bennett, the sophomore from FDU Florham, in 13th place. Emily Kramer, the freshman from Lycoming, in 12th place. Ashley Griffin, the junior from Hood, in 11th place. Lydia Ellsworth, the junior from Messiah, in 10th place. And Rachel Finnegan won the consolation final of 55.45. And now the top 8 finishers. Lane 8th place, Kaylin Augustine, the freshman from Widener. 7th place, Erica Wise, the freshman from Lebanon Valley. In 6th place, Melanie Heald, junior wire. Melanie Held, Morgan Hanadel in 5th place, the sophomore from Misericordia. And in 4th place, Brittany Pond, the freshman from Messiah. And now, the top 3 finishers in this event. Christine Kunzler, the sophomore from Widener, a time of 53.31. 2nd place, Tara Freeman, the junior from Messiah, 53.12. And setting a new MAC record. In 1st place, the sophomore from Messiah, the champion of the women's 100-yard freestyle, Katie Wengert, 51.97 the time. And here's Katie Wengert being introduced there. Wengert, 20 points, Freeman 17, Kunzler 16, and so on and so forth, at least 1 point for 16th place. So now the men's 100 freestyle. In the 16th place, AJ Colley, the freshman from Arcadia. In 15th place, Randall DeAsis, the freshman from Kings. In 14th place, Bobby Jacobs, the junior from Misericordia. In 13th place, Nick Luca, the sophomore from Misericordia. In 12th place, Jake Schellinger, the sophomore from Arcadia. In 11th place, Ryan Franklin, the freshman from Hood. In 10th place, the senior from Messiah, Joseph Cornelius. And in 9th place, Stan Apostolou, the senior from Lycoming, the consolation champion, 47.72. the time. And now the top 8 finishers: Jeremy Lund, sophomore from Widener, in 8th place. Matthew Runtis in 7th place, the senior from Albright. Jeffrey Hicks, the junior from Widener, in 6th place. Jade Deschamps, the freshman from Albright, in 5th place. Tom Platt, the sophomore from Widener. And the top 3 finishers: Matt Cullen in 3rd place, the senior from Misericordia, with a time of 46.77. AJ Green, the freshman from Widener, in 2nd place, 45.91, and setting a new MAC record. The champion, MAC champion of the men's 100-yard freestyle, Ian Gaynor, the junior from Widener, 45.46. So 20 points for Widener, 17 for Widener, and 16 from Misericordia, and so on and so forth through the top 16 places. Let's take a look now. We've completed 16 events for the women. And through 16 events, Messiah inching their lead up even more now. 214 points over Widener's. Messiah 729, Widener 515, Misericordia 347, Arcadia 302, Hood 226, Lycoming 177. Kings in 7th, and Albright in 8th, Stevenson in 9th, Lebanon Valley 10th, Wilkes 11th, and FDU Forum 12th. We take a look at the men's team standings through 16 events. Widener still holding on to an 81-point lead over Albright, 483 to 402. Messiah in 3rd at 347. Widener and Albright starting to distinguish themselves as definitely the top 2. Misericordia at 4th place at 338. They break the tie with Arcadia, who's fallen to 5th at 332. And Hood in 6th place at 302. Lycoming in 7th, Kings in 8th, Lebanon Valley 9, FDU Forum 10, Stevenson 11, and Wilkes 12th. We take a look at the men's podium here. Ian Gaynor has just come to the top. AJ Green standing next to him on Gaynor's right. So now we head to the women's 200-yard butterfly. Our final event, our second to last event, the final one being the 400 freestyle relay. So let's take a look. As we have a little bit of a gap time as we get ready for the women's 200-yard butterfly. As you see the rest of the schedule here, 200 Breaststroke Awards and the 200 Butterfly Awards coming up right after this race. And then the 400 Freestyle Relay and 400 Freestyle Relay Awards, and that will conclude the 4-day 2016 MAC Swimming Championships. Let's take a look now for the women's 200-yard butterfly. Let's see who's in what lane. Alyssa Myers, the freshman from Widener, tops in this consolation. She's in lane 4. Other swimmers, Lauren Pham in lane 1, the freshman from Kings. Dane Martin, the sophomore from Albright, lane 2. Sam Hand, the junior from Albright, in lane 3. I mentioned Myers in lane 4. Julia Barry, the junior from Albright, in lane 5. Scarlett Ojeda, the freshman from Lycoming, in lane 6. Izzy Ramsline, the freshman from Messiah, in lane 7. And Jacqueline Hamill, the freshman from Widener, in lane 8. We're getting underway for the consolation of the women's 200-yard butterfly. And they're off into the water here. This is the consolation. Mentioned Alyssa Myers before in the top seed in this event from Broomall, Pennsylvania, via Maria Academy. 4-year letter winner in butterfly and freestyle in high school. She was the team captain as well. And trying to see if she can win a consolation final. Edging out, making some noise early on is Izzy Ramsland. A very competitive 200-yard butterfly through the first 50 yards. Now going up towards 75. Neck and neck in lane 4 and 5 is Myers and Barry. Barry from Albright, 75 yards through. They make the turn. Hopping out of the water first is Barry. And Barry and Myers in the middle of the pool. Barry is raced out in front a little bit. Ramsland still hanging around. Barry now gets first at 104.19. Also trying to watch here in lane 2 is Dane Martin. As you can see at the very bottom of your screen. Also in lane 1, Lauren Fawn being competitive here. So touching the back wall is Barry in lane 5. And Barry edging out in front a little bit. And Barry still leading the charge. It's going to be a competitive race for second here as Barry through 150 yards, 36.18 in the last 50, 36.4 in the last 50 for Myers. The lead is a second and a half entering the last 50 yards. And now Myers putting on a charge in lane 4. A large Widener contingent pushing her on. Barry and Myers touch the wall and now are headed for the last 25. And Barry is opening up an even bigger lead. And still, Ramsland trying to keep it interesting here. And Barry's going to finish first. Myers in second. Hand in third in lane 3. Ramsland falls to fourth, just out touched. Congratulations to Julia Barry from Albright, winning the consolation final at 217.83. Myers in second, Hand in third. So now, time for the championship of the women's 200-yard butterfly. As the swimmers being greeted to the pool deck, being introduced. Let's take a look at the lane assignments for the women's 200 butterfly. This is the championship. Jan Akita, a senior from Lebanon Valley, the overall number 1 in the prelims, 210.11. And Akita is in lane 4. Other swimmers, Lauren Fogarty, senior from Hood. Renee Ormond, the senior from Messiah. Liz O'Sullivan, the sophomore from Widener in lane 3. Cassie Cotton, the freshman from Messiah in lane 5. Lydia Ellsworth, junior from Messiah in lane 6. Megan Obaraski in 7th for Arcadia. And Abigail Gordiani in 8th. And very different, decorated women's 200-yard butterfly, Liz O'Sullivan. Earlier in this championship, 3rd place in the 400 medley relay and 500 freestyle. Akita, 1st in the 100 butterfly, trying to get the same for the 2nd. Cassie Cotton, several firsts, including the 200 medley relay, 800 freestyle relay, 400 medley relay, 200 freestyle relay. She finished 2nd in the 100 butterfly and tied for 2nd in the 50 freestyle. And Megan Obaraski, 3rd in the 200 medley relay. As they go through the introductions in the women's 200-yard butterfly. Akita from Harleysville, Pennsylvania, North Penn from Lebanon Valley. She's also a member of the women's golf team at Lebanon Valley. She was a MAC champion even 2 years ago in the 200 fly and the B-cut in the 100 fly a couple of years ago. Cassie Cotton, the freshman from Marlton, New Jersey, the swim team captain at Cherokee High School. She's been very decorated in her first MAC championship. And Liz O'Sullivan from Widener, the sophomore. All MAC second team in this event last year. We're underway in the women's 200-yard butterfly championship. Quickly down the pool here, the butterfly. And Akita leading the charge in lane 4. We'll keep an eye on her in the middle of the pool. Very competitive to start. Making some noise a little bit on the end is Gordiani from Messiah, but Akita blazing through 26.87, a full second ahead of Cassie Cotton from Messiah. And Akita is now racing well in front of everyone, up through 75 yards. Akita touches the wall, and now headed for the midway point here. Akita with Cassie Cotton gaining some speed behind her. Cotton within a half a length of her. Let's see how the splits come up. Akita 31.19, 31.99 for Cotton, still slower. And the lead is up to a second and a half for Akita. Now through 125 yards. Jan Akita is doing work in the butterfly as she's done in the 100. We'll keep an eye on the record of 206.55 set in 1990. Akita is just blazing through the field now. She's opened up a length and a half lead. And Akita 33.37 in the last 50. And she's increased the lead now to about 3 seconds. Akita now nearing 25 yards remaining. Akita down the length of the pool. She'll touch, and she has 18 seconds to get down to set another championship record. Can she do that? She lost a little bit of time on the turn. Let's see. Akita now in the middle of the pool. 15 yards to go. Now 10 yards to go. Akita trying to set a new championship record. Does she do it? She gets first in MAC champion. 207.36. Akita falls just short. Cotton, though, finishes second. And in third, O'Sullivan. Akita blistering the field. Wins the MAC championship at 207.36. Cotton in second, O'Sullivan in third. Congratulations to Jan Akita. Just 0.8 second from setting a record. Up for Jan Akita in the 200-yard butterfly with a time of 207.36. A top 10 finish, besting her own record from 2014 in 208.84. So now we're into the consolation of the men's 200-yard butterfly. Let's take a look at who's the lane placements. Clayton Hebner, the senior from Lebanon Valley, the top seed in this event, in this heat. He's in lane 4. Lane 1, Parker Vivian, the sophomore from Albright. Stephen Rinaldi, the senior from Widener in lane 2. Matthew Ball, the freshman from Hood in lane 3. I mentioned Hebner in 4. Drew Leahy, the senior from Albright in 5. Zach Cather, the sophomore from Stevenson in lane 6. Jake Lightman, the junior from Widener in lane 7. And Eli Engstrom, the freshman from Lycoming in lane 8. Those are your placements here. Here's the consolation of the men's 200-yard butterfly. And they're off into the water here. We mentioned Clayton Hebner set the program record for Lebanon Valley, the senior did, for Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. James Buchanan in the 100-yard and fly and 200-yard fly, and was part of the college's record-setting 200-meter medley relay teams. He finished 8th in this event last year. And now Clayton Hebner in lane 4. So Hebner in the middle, and Hebner in lane 4 of lane 6. Also with Zach Cather challenging here in the consolation. Hebner and Cather 1-2 through 100 yards. As they head for the 125 mark. Hebner trying to increase the steam here, and Hebner is gonna tap here. Did Cather lose a little bit on that last 25, but actually got a big jump off the wall. But Hebner leading the pack, and he's extending his lead as he comes in at the 150 mark. Hebner, 32.10 in the last 50. Cather still holding onto a lead, but Drew Leahy's on him. The race for second is fierce, and Cather's only ahead by 0.2 of a second. Hebner all the way down the pool as we approach the 175-yard mark. 25 yards to go. Hebner turns and heads for the final 25 yards. And Hebner well in front. Leahy and Cather battling for second. And Hebner with 10 yards to go and 5 yards to go is going to take the consolation final. Leahy is just going to touch. Oh, did Cather get it? No, Leahy touched just in time. Leahy in second, 206 even. Cather in third, 206.29. Fourth, Matt Ball from Hood at 206.78. A very competitive consolation final. 4 finishers in 0.8 of a second. So now the championships for the men's 200-yard butterfly. They're being introduced here to the pool decks. Timothy Graham, the overall #1 seed for the senior in Arcadia. He's in lane 4. We'll take a look at the placements here. Timothy Graham at 153.91. Sean Riddle, lane 1, for a freshman from Albright. Josh Thomas, the senior from Lycoming, in lane 2. Ian Lloyd, the sophomore from Lebanon Valley, in lane 3. Dakota Schmalls, the sophomore from Messiah, in lane 5. Mitch Kane, the senior from Albright, in lane 6. Nick Wider, the junior from Messiah, in lane 7. And Connor Hassard from Albright, a freshman, in lane 8. So Timothy Graham, the overall #1 seed in this event at 153.91. Lanes 1 through 5 have all won something, or at least finished in the top 3. We start with Timothy Graham. Graham finished second in the 800 freestyle relay. Josh Thomas, second place, finished in the 200 medley relay, 400 medley relay, and third in the 100 butterfly. Ian Lloyd in lane 3, third place in the 200 IM, second in the 100 butterfly. And Dakota Schmalls, first in the 400 IM. So we take a look at our top 3 that we're looking at. Timothy Graham, first team all-conference 2013 and 2014 in the 200 butterfly. Drew Leahy from Albright, also a strong showing in the 100 butterfly. He was 11th in that event. Now he has a chance for a championship. And Ian Lloyd, MAC first team all-conference last year. And now into the water they go here for the championship on the men's 200-yard butterfly. Tapping the wall in the middle of the pool and popping out of the water first in lane 6 is Mitch Kane from Albright, looking for a first top 3 finish. Coming in strong is Ian Lloyd, though, at 24.63, roaring through the first 50 yards. We'll keep an eye on him in lane 3. It's Lloyd in lane 3, going off to a blistering start here. Lagging behind is Graham a little bit. Making the turn is Lloyd, and he pops out. It's Lloyd and Schmalls in 3 and 5. Graham trying to fight to keep up with the top 3. It's Lloyd, and Lloyd is going to tap through the first 100 yards. He's still in the lead. Lloyd is in the lead by about 0.9 of a second, actually 0.7 of a second. And now coming down for the 125-yard mark. Did Lloyd lose a little bit of time? He might have let Schmalls back into the race. And now 3, 4, and 5 are in a line together. And now all of a sudden Lloyd is fading. And now Graham and Schmalls in the lead. But then Lloyd's trying to get it back. Let's see, they're all very tight through 50 yards to go. 123.48, Graham has the lead now by 0.3 of a second. 175 yards coming up here. Lloyd is faded. It's now between Graham and Schmalls. Graham at the bottom, Schmalls at the top of your screen. 25 yards left, and Graham bursts through. Graham trying to set a championship record. Graham is going to finish in first from behind. Schmalz in second, Lloyd in third. And a championship record for Tim Graham at 153.54. That shatters a record set in 1972. Timothy Graham finishing in 153.54. Dakota Schmalz would have broken it too had he won at 154.64. A thrilling men's 200-yard butterfly. So now we have award ceremonies for the 200 breaststroke and the 200 butterflies. The announcement has just been made about the record, and now we set the podium up for the awards ceremonies here. So we'll go through the award ceremonies for the 200-meter breaststroke first, 200-yard breaststroke first. And they're going to start off with the women's event here. Rachel Jonas was disqualified in the race in the consolation final. Arms not in the same horizontal plane in the breaststroke, so a stroke technicality for Rachel Jonas, the senior from Kings. 15th place, Mackenzie Doherty, the freshman from FDU Forum. 14th place, Allie Aspey, the freshman from Wilkes. 13th place, Katarina Darmaval, the freshman from Misericordia. Sarah Fasolka in 12th place, the freshman from Wilkes. Corey Megan, senior from Widener, in 11th place. Autumn Merrill in 10th place, the junior from Messiah. And Anna McArdle, the senior from Messiah, in 9th place. So now the Anna McArdle won the consolation championship, 233.84 in blazing speed. We now take a look at the top 8 finishers. Sarah Woods, the sophomore from Messiah, in 8th place. Taylor Byers in 7th place, the freshman from Arcadia. In 6th place, Hannah Oni, the sophomore from Kings. In 5th place, Jilly Flynn, the senior from Lycoming. In 4th place, Julie Burnett, the freshman from Stevenson. And now the top 3 finishers. Erin Neugebauer, the senior from Widener, in 3rd place with a time of 228.78. Danny Blass in 2nd place, the senior from Misericordia, 228 even. And Samantha Carpenter, the champion in the MAC for the 200-yard breaststroke. Samantha Carpenter, the freshman from Arcadia, 226.37. She takes the women's 200-yard breaststroke event. So 20 points for Arcadia, 17 for Misericordia, 16 for Widener in the women's event. And so on and so forth. The top 16 get at least a point. Moving over to the men's 200-yard breaststroke, the consolation winners. Tim Resch, sophomore from Albright, 16th place. Adam Zeck, the senior from Messiah, 15th place. Aaron Griffith, the freshman from Kings, in 14th place. Chris Suter, the freshman from Kings, in 13th place. Stephen O'Brien, the junior from FDU Forum, in 12th place. David Padawaran, the sophomore from Messiah, in 11th place. Josh Shoemaker, the junior from Kings, in 10th place. And Ryan Early, the champion in the consolation final of the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Ryan Early, the freshman from Widener, finishing with a time of 2:15.03. Now let's take a look at the championship top 8 finishers. Andy Mador, the senior from Widener, in 8th place. Trevor Endler, the senior from Lycoming, in 7th place. BJ Daisy, the junior from Hood, in 6th place. Andrew Gavone, the freshman from Arcadia, in 5th place. Tyler Chamberlain, the freshman from Albright, in 4th place. And now for the top 3 finishers. What a moment for Stevenson, building their program with Andrew Sears, the freshman from Stevenson, in 3rd place, just out touching Chamberlain. 2:08.59 for Sears. Ken Richardson, junior from Albright, in 2nd place, 2:07.43, and setting a new championship record in the 200-yard breaststroke. The MAC champion in the event, number 1, in 1st place, Thomas Scott, the junior from Misericordia. The new championship record, 2:06.05, beating it by a full second by Jeff Clark from Misericordia. Zach Cather from Stevenson. Coming up here, Andrew Sears. So they conclude the men's 200-yard breaststroke awards ceremony. They're going to move to the women's 200-yard butterfly finals here. After this is the men on the podium, all 8 spots. And now we move to the women's 200 butterfly, the results here. 16th, the Consolation racers. In 16th place, Lauren Pham, the freshman from Kings. 15th place, Jacqueline Hamill, freshman from Widener. In 14th place, Scarlett Ojeda, the freshman from Lycoming. Dane Martin in 13th place, the sophomore from Albright. Izzy Ramsland, freshman from Messiah, in 12th place. Sam Hand, the junior from Albright, in 11th place. Alyssa Myers, the freshman from Widener, in 10th place. And Julia Barry wins the 200 women's butterfly consolation final, 217.83. So now we go to the top 8 finishers in the event. In 8th place, Megan Oborowski, the junior from Arcadia. In 7th place, Abigail Gordiani, the sophomore from Messiah. In 6th place, Lauren Fogarty, the senior from Hood. In 5th place, Lydia Ellsworth, the junior from Messiah. And in 4th place, Renee Ormond, the senior from Messiah. And now for the top 3 finishers in the event, Liz O'Sullivan, the sophomore from Widener, at 2:13.17, getting a 3rd place time. In 2nd place, Cassie Cotton, the freshman from Messiah, 2:10.60. And Jan Akita, the butterfly specialist from Lebanon Valley, gets 1st place in the event. A senior from Lebanon Valley, 2:07.36. 20 points for Akita for Lebanon Valley, 17 for Messiah, 16 for Widener, and at least a point for 16th place. So now, coming up here, the men's 200-yard butterfly. So the 16 places for the men's 200 butterfly. Eli Engstrom, the freshman from Lycoming, in 16th place. Parker Vivian, the sophomore from Albright, in 15th place. Jake Lightman, the junior from Widener, in 14th place. Stephen Rinaldi, the senior from Widener, in 13th place. Matthew Ball, the freshman from Hood, in 12th place. Zach Cather, the sophomore from Stevenson, in 11th place. Drew Leahy, the senior from Albright, in 10th place. And winning the consolation final for the men's 200 butterfly, Clayton Hebner for Lebanon Valley, the senior, in a very good time of 2:03.08. And now the top 8 finishers in the men's 200-yard butterfly. Connor Hassard, the freshman from Albright, finishing in 8th place. Nick Wider, the junior from Messiah, finishing in 7th place. Josh Thomas, the senior from Lycoming, finishing in 6th place. Mitch Kane, the senior from Albright, in 5th place. Sean Riddle, freshman from Albright, in 4th place. And now for the top 3 finishers. Ian Lloyd, the sophomore from Lebanon Valley, 156.37. Dakota Schmalls, the sophomore from Messiah, 154.64. And for Dakota Schmalls, if he didn't have any more racers in the event, he would have finished with a championship record. Instead, that goes to Timothy Graham, who bested him by a full second. Timothy Graham, a senior from Arcadia, sets a new championship record and a MAC record. And just to show you how impressive that record was, that record has stood for 44 years and now has broken. Timothy Graham, the senior from Arcadia, breaking it 153.54. So 20 points for Arcadia, 17 for Messiah, 16 for Lebanon Valley as they continue to go on. So now the finishers in the men's 200-yard butterfly, getting ready for the podium celebration here. Of course, only one more event remaining, and that is the 400-yard freestyle. But before we take a look at that, we're through 17 events now, so we'll see where the standings are between the teams. For the men, or for the women through 17 events, Widener has put up a lot of points, but Messiah has such a big lead. Messiah up by 252 points. Messiah in first with 792. Widener in second with 540. Misericordia in third with 347. Big race for third developing. Arcadia, could they go into a top three finish? Arcadia 313, Hood at 239, Lycoming at 180. And it's Kings with 7th, Albright in 8th, Lebanon Valley 9th, Stevenson 10th, Wilkes 11th, and FDU Florham 12th. So that is the women's standings here going into the final event. Messiah up handily and pretty much on their way, it would seem, to another team championship. That's through the women through 17 events. Now for the men. Let's see how this race is. Widener up on Albright for 39 points as we just get the loud cheer from Timothy Graham, who set the new record, which had stood for 42 years in the butterfly. Timothy Graham gets the first place on the podium. And Graham shakes his competitor's hand. So we were just getting to, and the men's race is still anyone's game for the team championship. Widener, 490 points. Albright, 451. Messiah, 376. Arcadia, 352. Misericordia, 338. Hood, 307. Big gap then between 6 and 7. Lycoming at 243. And 7th, Kings in 8th. Lebanon Valley 9. FDU Florham 10. Stevenson 11. And Wilkes in 12th. So, the women's team standings, pretty much a formality with one more event. The men's, very much up for grabs. And we will take a 15-minute cool down break here in between events. The final event coming up, the 400 Freestyle Relay, followed by the 400 Freestyle Relay Awards presentation, and then the presentation for Swimmers of the Year and Coach of the Year. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. Stay tuned. You're watching the MAC 2016 Swimming Championships on GoMacSports.com. Welcome back to the Graham Aquatic Center in York, PA. Rob Dawson here. We hope you enjoyed the 15-minute warm-up and coaches meeting here as they've taken down the posters of all the schools as we end our championship with one final event. It's the women's 400-yard freestyle relay first. The top seed in this heat, 1 of 2, is Kings. They're actually the 9th seed overall. Michaela Miller, the freshman, Rachel Jonas, the senior, Melina Good, the freshman, Bridget Wynn in the junior. That's in lane 4. Lane 5. So now let's go to the conference commissioner, Ken Andrews, is going to say a few words.
Thank you, Ken. Well said. Our last event will be the women's 400-yard freestyle relay. There will be 2 heats.
So, just mentioned in lane 4 for Kings, lane 5 for Albright, Hannah Schrock, the freshman, Christine Allison, the freshman, Dane Martin, the sophomore, Sam Hand, the junior. In lane 6, FDU, Sarah Bennett in number 1, sophomore, Maria Fafian, freshman, number 2, Samantha Race, sophomore, Mackenzie Darty, the freshman. At Stevenson, the 11th seed, Laurel Camosa in 1, Liv Snyder, the freshman in 2, Natalie Wasico, the freshman in 3, Julie Burnett in number 4, the freshman. This is the 400 freestyle relay. As we mentioned before, Messiah and the women's team pretty much has this wrapped up, but there is a competitive race here for 3rd in the event for the women's race here through 17 events. This is the 18th and final women's event in this competition. Here's the first heat in the women's 400-yard freestyle. 4 racers. This is 3, 4, 5, and 6 from the bottom to the top of your screen. So here through 25 yards, very even here to start this last event for the women. Jumping out a little bit in front is Albright and FDU. As Schrock and Bennett leading the first leg. 50 yards through, they'll go back up and down one more time. And now, swimmers getting more even here, still holding onto a lead, is Albright's Hannah Schrock, the freshman. 75 yards through, getting ready to change legs here, and it is still in front, Albright and FDU, Schrock and Bennett. Bennett giving FDU a good boost here through the first. Coming up is Kings in lane 4, lagging behind is Stevenson in lane 3. They're into the water here, and the leader is Kings by about 0.2 of a second. Rachel Jonas into the water for Kings, the senior, and still going strong is Christine Allison. So now, back the other way. What a sizzling stretch for Albright's Christine Allison through 50 yards. And Albright touches first, 26.51 in the last 50. And overall, Albright has a 1.7 second lead. And still motoring through is Christine Allison, the freshman. So 175 yards through, now going up to 200. We're going to be halfway through. And in lane 5, Rachel Jonas has widened the lead. They're into the third leg for Albright. And getting back into the thick of things is Stevenson there at 29.20 in the last 50. They've pulled into second place in this heat. FDU has fallen off the pace quite a bit here in lane 6. Meanwhile, still motoring through for Albright, Dane Martin in the third leg. We're closing in on the 250-yard mark. Martin flips, and then touching is Kings and Stevenson. Kings has retaken the lead. Albright at 221.31, Kings at 222.91. About 1.7 second lead. And then turning at 275 yards is Martin. She flips and makes her way down the pool. And still Albright hanging on the lead, but look at the charge by Melina Good trying to close the gap before the last leg. 100 yards to go, they're into the final swimmer. That is Sam Hand, the junior, the anchor for Albright. And going down, trying to chase her down is Bridget Wynn, the junior. Bridget Wynn and Melina and Sam Hand are neck and neck between Kings and Albright. Bridget Wynn trying to close the gap. They are very close in this second heat, edging out a little bit, and through 350, very tough to tell between Kings and Albright who's in the lead. Very close now as they near the 375-yard mark. It's Hand in for Albright and Wynn at the bottom of your screen. Wynn and Hand. Hand to the top, and Hand might have the upper hand here. Sam Hand in lane 5 is going to come away 29.25. Sam Hand for Albright, the junior. It's first in the heat. Stevenson second, and Kings in third, coming up, and a strong anchor leg by Julie Burnett, the freshman. So this is for places 9 through 12 in the conference. So now we bring on the top 8 teams. Widener, number 1 seed in this, Melanie Held, the junior. Kaylin Augustine, the freshman. Erin Hugebauer, the senior. Christine Kunzler, the sophomore. Messiah in the second seed, lane 5. Brittany Pond, the freshman. Tara Freeman, the junior. Emily Reel, the junior. Katie Wingert, the sophomore. The third seed, Misericordian, lane 3. Danny Blast, the senior. Rachel Finnegan, the sophomore. Taylor Grenier, the senior. Morgan Hannadell, the sophomore. Arcadia, the fourth seed in lane 6. Taylor Byers, the freshman. Anna Sweeney, the junior. Megan Oborowski, the junior. Sam Carpenter, the freshman. The fifth seed for Wilkes, Amanda Lopez, the freshman. Allie Aspey, the freshman. Cassie Morey, the senior. Danielle McCall, the freshman. Sixth seed is Hood, Brianna Hansalin, the freshman. Ashley Griffin, the junior. Brittany Whittan, the senior. Lauren Fogarty, the senior. 7th seed is Lycoming, Emily Kramer, the freshman, Billy Strickler, the freshman, Julie Flynn, the senior, Felicia Sloyer, the senior, and Lebanon Valley in the 8th spot. Jan Akita, the senior, Elena Callanan, the senior, Leslie Hiller, the sophomore, and Erica Wise, the freshman. That is your relay teams for the women 400-yard freestyle relay. Disqualification in lane 5 for Albright. So Albright DQ'd. So Stevenson comes in first now in the heat. So Stevenson moves to 9th place. Kings in 10th and FDU in 11th. So disqualification for the Albright Lions in the event. Here they are, the rosters placements for the second heat. This is the championship for the women's 400-yard freestyle, battling in the top 8 seeds. The line of 32 swimmers for the women, making their way down the side of the pool deck. As you see the placements again, we'll remind you, lane 1, Lycoming, lane 2, Wilkes, lane 3, Misericordia, lane 4, Widener, the number 1 seed, Messiah in lane 5, Arcadia in lane 6, Hood in lane 7, Lebanon Valley in lane 8. We also remind you as well that Messiah has a 200-plus point lead in the team standings, destined to win it here. They are the second seed in this. Widener would love to just steal this one event from Messiah here in this final event. Messiah 792, Widener 540, safely 1 and 2. Battle for third between Misericordia and Arcadia. And Misericordia in third place in the team and third place seed in this relay. Arcadia battling for fourth. We'll keep an eye on lanes 3 and 6 as well, as the battle here could somewhat perhaps determine third and fourth place. So the battle for third will be fierce between Misericordia and Arcadia. Excitement brewing here for the women's 400-yard freestyle relay, the final event for the women in this 2016 MAC Championship in York. First leg up on the blocks. And they're off here in the championship of the women's 400-yard freestyle. 25 yards in, and first out of the water is Widener's Melanie Held, the junior, setting a good pace here to start. So now looking over towards the middle of the screen and tapping first, 25.4, is Messiah's Brittany Pond, the freshman. And Pond and Held are matching stroke for stroke. Also joining them, Danny Blast, the senior. And now flipping and turning, and now coming down for the final 25 in the event in lane 5. It is Brittany Pond putting Messiah in a good chance to take first and try and sweep the relays in first. But Widener just outtouches in the last 100. That's Melanie Held, the junior, doing a good job in the last 2 yards or so. Second leg underway. Still tight between Widener and Messiah. Very quick off the far end of the pool is Tara Freeman, the junior. So moving through now 150 yards in Tara Freeman, the junior from Messiah, opening up a little bit of a lead here. 25.09 in that last 50, 118.64, 120.71. Misericordia in third, and Arcadia falling to less than fourth. They cannot do that here to try and see if they can take Misericordia for third place in the team standings. Coming up on the halfway point in the race, and into the water first is Messiah. Widener has lost some time. 146.01 from Messiah. They have now opened up a 3-second lead over the Pride. So now already making the turn is Emily Reel, the junior, and she is just blazing down the pool, leaving Widener's Erin Neugebauer, the senior, to deal with second, and now Widener has to be concerned about falling less than second here. Reel, meanwhile, all the way down the end of the pool, 211.07. Widener, 214.72, and they are still holding on to second place by 1.4, but it's all Messiah here as Reel comes up. Reel makes the turn, and Reel is all alone here for the Falcons as she's going to come through at the 300-yard mark. 28.31 in the last 50. Second place is Widener, 29.05, and right behind is Misericordia in third. Misericordia to 2 seconds, and now in the final leg, they're down to the 325-yard mark, racing all the way back in the middle of the pool again is Katie Wingert for Messiah. She's already at the 350 mark, 24.65 in the last 50. 25.4 in the last 50 for Widener. Misericordia trying to catch up and steal second if they can. It might be too much for them. Meanwhile, Katie Wingert now all the way turning in the last 25 yards. Can they set a record of 333.42? Wingert will tap, and she will get it by at least a second. Messiah, 331.43. Widener in second, 337.09. Misericordia in third, 338.79. Arcadia in fourth, 344.19. And for Arcadia, their bid for third place probably falling short here. So, as you see, the standings are in this relay, mirror very precisely the standings of the team for the conference, pretty much. So now, this is the seeds 9 through 12 in the relay here in the conference. Lebanon Valley in the 9th seed in lane 4. Ian Lloyd, the sophomore. David Corvino, the senior. Clayton Heebner, the senior. Christopher Kurtz, the sophomore. 10th seed is Lycoming in lane 5. Dan Apostolou, the senior. Trevor Endler, the senior. Zach Kibler, the senior. Johnny Kohler, the freshman. Anchoring. Stevenson, the 11th seed. In lane 3, Andrew Sears, the freshman. Mikey Lutz, the freshman. Joanne Hatton and Zach Cather, the sophomore. And in the 12th seed, in for Wilkes, 346.27. Jake Scielli, the sophomore. Matthew Nevers, the junior. Austin Paisley, the sophomore. And Chris Bright, the senior, for Wilkes. For the men's final, we are off here. As we mentioned, in the men's race, we'll be looking towards the top 8. And they're off into the water here in the men's 400-yard freestyle relay. This is seeds 9 through 12 in the conference going at it. And first out of the water is Lycoming's Dan Apostolou, the senior. And Apostolou setting a good place for the Warriors here through 50 yards. Apostolou 22.7 for Lycoming. And now back down for the 75-yard mark. Apostolou flips, gaining a little bit on that last 25 was Ian Lloyd. And now Lloyd will come down to the pool, try to see if he can give and not lose too much ground to Apostolou. 100 yards through. And into the water first is Lebanon Valley. 48.11, actually Lycoming in front by 0.7 of a second. So Lycoming in first, Lebanon Valley in second in this heat. They've reached the 125-yard mark. And now, Lycoming with Trevor Endler with the lead, gaining a little bit, but a big jump off the wall by David Corvino from the Dutchman. Corvino trying to catch Endler. Endler turns, Corvino turns, and Corvino has made up a lot of time for the Dutchman in the middle of the pool. Endler fading a little bit. Here's Corvino trying to gain some time. It's gotten close here between Lebanon Valley and Lycoming. 26.32 by Endler for Lebanon Valley, or by Corvino in the last stretch. The lead down to about a half a second now as they turn at 2:25. And now coming down the pool for 250, pretty much matching stroke for stroke, is Zach Kibler from Lycoming in 5 at the top and Clayton Heavner in 4 at the bottom. Heavner has gained some time for Lebanon Valley. 23.43 in the last 50. Very good for Heavner. Now going for 275. Heavner is opening up a length. And really struggling in lane 5 is Zach Kibler. And now Heavner nearing the final 100. One last burst for Kibler. And already on the anchor leg is Christopher Kurtz into the pool, and Kurtz is off. Trying to chase him down is Johnny Kohler, the freshman from Lycoming. Already making the turn at 3:25, headed back the other way. For Lebanon Valley is Christopher Kurtz. And Kurtz all touching now, 23.37. And Lycoming at 23.65. Lebanon Valley's relay up to 3-second lead. It might be too much to overcome for the Warriors. 375 yards through, and Clayton Heavner, actually Christopher Kurtz, going to come in and will grab the winner of the Consolation, 26.08. 27.01 for Lycoming in second. Third place for Stevenson in the heat, and Wilkes finishes in fourth. So now the final heat of the final event, the men's 400-yard freestyle relay. The number 1 seed overall, Widener, Ian Gaynor, the junior, Tom Platt, the sophomore, Jeffrey Hicks, the junior, AJ Green, the freshman. Second seed, Misericordia, Joe Gerzak, the sophomore, Nick Luca, the sophomore, Thomas Scott, the junior, Matt Cullen, the senior. Arcadia in third, Graham Fisher, the sophomore, Jake Schellinger, the sophomore, Andrew Gavone, the freshman, Timothy Graham, the senior. Albright in fourth place, Matthew Runtis, the senior, Brendan Mackey Wood, the freshman, Ken Richardson, the junior, Jay Deschamps, the freshman. The fifth seed for Hood, Michael Curry, the senior, Chris Gardner, the junior, Ryan Franklin, the freshman, Ernesto Evans, the freshman. Sixth place, Messiah. They're in lane 7, Nolan McArdle, the sophomore, Jason McCannon, the freshman, Dakota Schmalls, the sophomore, and Joseph Cornelius, the senior. Seventh place for Kings in lane 1, Bryce Groshart, the freshman, Josh Shoemaker, the junior, Aaron Griffith, the freshman, and Randall DeAsis, the freshman. And the 8th seed in lane 8, Bodon Smock, the freshman, David Warren, the senior, Alexei Solirov, the freshman, and David Nadler, the senior. Widener in front by 39 points, 490 to 451 over Albright. Messiah 376, Arcadia 352, Misericordia 338. The race for fourth between Arcadia and Misericordia, pretty much perhaps against Messiah 2, but within 20 points of each other. Arcadia and Misericordia, very tough. Albright looks like they will hold on to second place as we get ready for the men's 400-yard freestyle. If Albright can't win, at least they would love to beat Widener, but Widener's tough to beat when they have the likes of Gaynor, Platt, Hicks, and Green anchoring the freshmen. The relay will start for Widener with Ian Gaynor, the junior. We'll take a look at the record set by Widener last year in the championship of 305.08. And the championship record, or the MAC record as a conference, Widener set in 2015 at 305.08. 2 years ago, 305.7 won the championship. And we're off in the men's 400-yard freestyle relay, the final event in this 2016 MAC championship. And Ian Gaynor off and rolling here. He gives Widener an early touch lead. Fierce competition here in the middle of the pool. Gaynor, along with Joe Gerzak of Misericordia in lane 5. And it is Gerzak, it was Gaynor touching first. Actually, Matthew Runtis in lane 6 also to watch as well. Gaynor is going to turn and come back towards the middle of the pool. And it's Gaynor and it's Runtis in 4 and 6, but Gaynor is leaving everyone, and now Misericordia and Albright challenging for second right now. First in the pool, 23.34 for Widener, 485.15 the first 100 yards. So now second leg for Widener is Tom Platt, the sophomore. And Tom Platt is bursting through the pool, and he gets to the 150-yard mark. A fierce race in second still between Misericordia and Albright. And racing all the way down, Tom Platt. What a performance here by Widener. At the 175-yard mark, Tom Platt already turning. All his competitors still turning, gaining a little bit on the turn was Nick Luca for second for Misericordia. But the show is Widener here, halfway home, 24.45 in the last 50, 131.64. And Widener is in front by 5.5 seconds or so. Thomas Jeffrey Hicks for Widener. Now at the 250 mark. And still stroke for stroke is Misericordia and Albright, who will win in lanes 5 and 6. But for now, look at Widener here at 275. It's Tom Platt making the Jeffrey Hicks making the turn here, going for the final leg. AJ Green in lane 4 getting ready to go. 300 yards through in the time for Widener. Through 300 yards, 218.62. AJ Green's gonna have to work hard to get a record. AJ Green turning all the way down. Widener seemingly has the MAC championship in the event. Can they go for the championship record? AJ Green now at 350, and still stroke for stroke in 5 and 6 is Misericordia and Albright. AJ Green is all alone. This is Widener's world in the men's 400-yard freestyle. AJ Green making the turn. Can he break the championship record? He's fallen a little bit off the pace. 10 yards to go, 5 yards to go. AJ Green sets the record at 304.36. A new record in the relay. Race for second is going to go to Albright. Misericordia falls to third. 311.43 for Albright, 312.7 for Misericordia. Misericordia and Albright together. That is a new championship record. That's broken 305.71 and a new MAC record as well. And that breaks the NCAA Division III B cut by 0.03 of a second. Widener at 304.36, blazing through, and Widener on their way to another team final. What a performance by the Widener Pride in this one. So now we get set for the awards ceremony. for the 400-yard freestyle relay. As the women will get a chance to be recognized here for the 400 freestyle relay presentation. We'll give you the results here. Albright disqualified. Early takeoff by Dane Martin. So Albright disqualified in the event. FDU, 11th place. Wilkes in 10th place. Kings in 9th place. And Stevenson finishes in 8th place in the event. 350.01. Hood in 7th. Lycoming in 6th. Lebanon Valley in 5th place. Arcadia in 4th. And now the top 3 finishers. Misericordia in 3rd place with a time of 338.79, featuring Danny Blast, the senior, Rachel Finnegan, the sophomore, Taylor Grenier, the senior, and Morgan Hannadell, the sophomore. Widener in 2nd place, 337.09. Melanie Held, the junior, Kaylin Augustine, the freshman, Erin Neugebauer, the senior, Christine Kunzler, the sophomore. And in 1st place, with a new championship record of 331.43, Messiah in 1st place, Brittany Pond, the freshman, Tara Freeman, the junior, Emily Reel, the junior, and Katie Wingert, the sophomore. So now the women's team being recognized here. Here are the announcements coming. Here for the women's championship. Stevenson gets on the podium because of that now. Everyone moves up a space. So Stevenson moves to 8th place. A little bit unexpectedly, but Albright with the disqualification. Hear the award ceremony going on as the podium almost filled. So now the men's finishers are going to be recognized here. Of course, they need a little bit of a breather after that for anyone who participated in that. Always is the case in the final event, as the women's photo opportunities continue here. now the men's announcements here coming up. We have them for you as well if you had trouble hearing them. In 12th place, Wilkes. 11th place, Stevenson. In 10th place, Lycoming. And 9th place, FDU Forum. FDU Forum moving up to 9th place and winning that one, 321.15. They're finishing in 9th place. Lebanon Valley won the Consolation and standing in 8th place at 318.17. So now, continuing on, Lebanon Valley in 8th, Messiah in 7th, Kings in 6th place. So, 7th place Messiah, 6th place the Kings, 5th place in Hood, and 4th place Arcadia. Top 3 finishers, Misericordia, with a time of 3:12.73, featured Joe Kurzek, the sophomore, Nick Luca, the sophomore, Thomas Scott, the junior, Matt Cullen, the senior. In 2nd place Albright, with a time of 3:11.43, Matthew Runtis, the senior, Brendan Mackey Wood, the freshman, Ken Richardson, the junior, Jay Deschamps, the freshman, and Widener. 1st place, setting a MAC record, a championship record, and making the B cut in the NCAA Division III tournament. Ian Gaynor, the junior, number 1, Tom Platt, Jeffrey Hicks, AJ Green get a time of 3:04.36 in the race. Widener 40 points, Albright 34, Misericordia 32, and as follows with the relay here. All 12 of the schools get at least some points for participating in the relay. As the Widener team, and Widener heads to the podium here at the top. Number 1, and showing it here. So we now await the announcement of the team standings. As the the men on the podium, all smiles. Here, so the awards presentation for the 400 freestyle complete, 400 freestyle relay. So now next we'll have the presentation of the Coach of the Year, the Rookie of the Year, the Evenson Award, and the team champions as the judges are trying to tally up the scores here. And we will give you the totals as after the announcement is made. We'll let the crowd PA announcer announce them. The team stats being totaled up right now in the standings.
We have some awards now to present. The 2016 Mid-Atlantic Conference Male Rookie of the Year, AJ Green.
AJ Green, the Widener Rookie of the Year. Executive Director Dr. Ken Andrews presenting AJ Green with the award, and what a performance for him. We saw it on display in the 400 freestyle relay before, as well as all weekend long. AJ Green, Rookie of the Year, walking through. You see him walking away from the podium.
The 2016 Middle-Atlantic Conference Female Rookie of the Year is Cassie Cotton.
Cassie Cotton. Messiah in the far corner, screaming their appreciation. Cassie Cotton making her long walk across the pool. Cassie Cotton will come around on the right side of your screen. As Conference Executive Director Ken Andrews presents her with the award. Cassie Cotton, Rookie of the Year, why not? Very decorated swimmer this weekend.
The 2016 Coach of the Year, as voted on by fellow coaches in men's swimming, is Katie Peterson. And the 2016 Coach of the Year in women's swimming is Nancy Lilly. The David B. Evanson Award in swimming was created in memory of David B. Evanson Sr., athletic director and swimming coach at Dickinson College for many years. Through his employment at Dickinson, Evanson served as the MAC as vice president, secretary treasurer, and executive director. A plaque is presented to the outstanding male and female swimmer at the MAC championships who have the highest point total in individual events. In case of a tie, the awards criterion and priority order are setting an NCAA record, achieving an NCAA A qualifying time, an NCAA B qualifying time, and setting a MAC record. Coach Peterson from Widener will present the 2016 Men's Evanson Award to Ian Gaynor in swimming. Ian is now a two-time winner of this prestigious award. Congratulations. From Messiah, please come to the awards, and she will present the 2016 Women's Evanson Award. Coach Lulu. This year, the award goes to, wait for it, Emily Rio. Emily won her events and established two B cuts as well, NCAA B cuts, as well as records. The final results of the 2016 Mid-Atlantic Conference Swimming Championships. We will start with the women. For the women in 12th place, hang on a second here.
wait, the team standings.
In 12th place, with 44 points, Wilkes University. In 11th,
and now here are the announcements for the women's team standings. Should hear them from the crowd. We have it here for you.
Back up the train here. We can get this right. All right, women's scores. I really mean it. In 12th place, Fairleigh Dickinson University, 76 points. In 11th, Wilkes University, 93. In 10th, with 155, Stevenson. 9th place. From Albright, 163. 8th place, Lebanon Valley College, 179. 7th, King's College, 191. In 6th, with 206, Lycoming College. 5th place, with 263, Hood College. 4th place, with 343, Arcadia. 3rd place, with 379, Misericordia. In 2nd place, with 574 points, Widener University. And setting a new math conference record, breaking the record held by Albright in 2005 with 832 points, Messiah College. Prior record from Albright was 756 points.
Trying taking the team final. They are 2016 MAC champions. Now, dumping the water there on the side coach. On the back of behind putting it there. The Gatorade floor.
Men's team scores in 12th place from Wilkes University with 40.
So now we go to the men's standings. Here we'll take a listen.
With 140 points, Fairleigh Dickinson University. In 9th place, Lebanon Valley College with 185. 8th place with 193, King's College. 7th place from Lycoming College with 257. 6th, Hood College, 235. 5th, Misericordia, 370. 4th place, Arcadia, 382. 3rd place, Messiah College. This year's team runner-up with 485 from Albright a total of 530 points is Widener University.
Members as well for them to run through. What a moment here for Widener again. Albright and Widener the gold standards in the MAC conference, and then swimming. Widener up on top on this one.
Remember to pick up your second team all conference certificates.
Picture taken at the podium for Widener. Look out for the Widener coach from behind. And she is completely doused. Job well done by the Widener Pride swimmers. And she get them all in. There goes Widener. 2016 MAC champions for men's swimming. What a championship. As Widener celebrates, Messiah Falcons women's team as team champions. Getting ready to join. There goes the coach for Messiah. And there goes the Messiah Falcons team. A MAC record in points. And they are 2016 MAC champions for women's swimming. A record in points with 832. So congratulations to the Messiah Falcons women and Widener Pride men on their accomplishments. And Messiah puts their fingers up, index finger for number one. Messiah, a nearly a 260 point lead over Widener for the final event. And that will conclude our 2016 MAC championship. Well, what a championship it was, and I want to thank everyone who has been a part of it. Special thanks to our camera operator, Jamie Ryan and David Ryan, also a volunteer, both operating the camera for us that you saw on center screen so well. You can see the leaders and finishers from up top. And special thanks to a long 4 days of work by Joe Wamba, executive producer, coming from Stevenson University, SUTV. Always a good performance by him, and bringing you the shots and all the angles of the 2016 MAC Championship. And special thanks to all of you for listening and watching, whether it was for one day, all four, for just minutes or an hours at a time. We hope you appreciated it for our exclusive coverage of the 2016 MAC Championships for swimming from York. Once again, Messiah, 832 points, beats Widener in the women's competition by 258. And in the men, for Widener, 530 points. Beats Albright by 45 for the men's title. Congratulations to the Messiah women and Widener men. I'm Rob Dawson saying so long for the Graham Aquatic Center in York, PA. We hope you join us next year for the 2017 MAC Swimming Championships. For now, we close the book on 2016. Good night from York.